BIC episode number 150, but live. We're doing it live. I know.
I thought this was
It's crazy.
recorded.
Well, it is going to be recorded. Like eventually will be. It'll all happen. The secret code word is Hydra Massage Chair.
Yes.
We'll explain more context later.
Or actually, if you read it properly, it was message chair.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. More to be explained shortly. We will explain all. We will explain all. Mike Good says happy 150. Thank you, Mike. So I figured it'd be appropriate. We got a combination of a couple of things. So we're doing it live, yes. But the reason we're doing it live is number one, it's episode 150. So that's first. Second, it is an anniversary date. It is since October 19th, 2020. So 5 years and 1 day ago. Started doing the live streams every single week on this channel. There has been a live stream on this channel every single week for 5 years and 1 day.
And no because of that 1 day, Eric gets upcharged on the like button.
Yes. So much upcharge.
Upcharges for everyone.
But like his hero and hobby goat per Eric, Geoff, he is thrilled about this upcharge. Yep. He wants to brag about it. Oh, that's what Geoff did. He's bragging.
I know that's what he did, and I think that's quite foolish.
Imitate your hero.
But again, we're talking about him, therefore he's the GOAT.
That's right. Josh, happy anniversary. We'll catch you later. Thank you, Josh. Greater Gamer says, wait, what? I know, Amanda. I know. It's true. I know. Producer Louis here, live. About time. Did Eric hold you guys up? Always. What? Always.
Louis. Oh, God. You and I.
He was talking about taking the trash out and Bobby Orr and
no.
We were like, Eric, it's 7:32, bro.
Honestly, Brandon, I got to be honest. I really think what held us up the most is his 25-minute tirade on how much he fucking hates Marcel Leon. He's threatened. Like it was very profane. The part that shocked me was that he actually learned some French to curse in French, which felt very inappropriate. That was cultural appropriation. That was very wrong of you, Eric. That was wrong. I'll just give video a like. Congrats on 5 years and 1 day. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Nobody believes you.
Oh, everyone believes me. I am not only a man of peace, I am a man of truth.
Okay.
Eric, listen, when it comes to the level of credibility around here, may I remind you that you have given us no less than 1,400 different people that you claim was the first NBA three-pointer. The word first implies one person.
Chris Ford.
One person. So when you tell us 1,400 distinct people, that would make you a lying sack of shit.
Chris Ford. Yes.
We don't know who that is.
The guy who hit the first NBA.
Why is Eric so hung up on the NBA anyway? I didn't realize he was such an involved NBA fan. So how many cases? We can't even go box. How many cases? Because we heard there's going to be plenty to go around of the new tops are you buying, Eric?
Oh, it's just so many. I'm gonna get so many, and I'm gonna get all the good stuff that comes in those and they're gonna get blasters, and I'm gonna get
You should get the blasters.
And I'm gonna get some inserts, and
all right, no one cares. Thank you and the congratulations. Appreciate that. Thank you, Phil. My good says, are we 5% more mature on the live stream, or do the gloves come off tonight? Well, it is a special occasion, Brandon. What do you think? Like, does the 5% more maturity thing count during the live? And also, we're going to hang out for a while. We're not going to make it as crazy as the Friday nights. However, we're going to hang out for a little bit. That means we're going to go into a little bit of the ALCS Game 7. So there will be a mini ALCS Game 7 watch-along while we make fun of Eric. So are we 5% more mature? Are we 2.5% more mature and we split the difference? Like, how does this
I think it's got to be 2.5, 2.5 because it's a hybrid.
I would love Eric to chime in on this, but he's just staying so quiet. I can't hear him. This is unfortunate. This is terrible.
Yeah, he's all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Look at him.
Like, listen, what he went into. I actually think, speaking of addiction, because obviously we've had this discussion before, I actually think the whole Marcel tirade might have been precipitated by the moment that he went and cracked open. Again, folks, there is kind of a performative element to this. We always talk about the mayonnaise, and Eric pretends he doesn't like it and everything, but we saw the Duke's mayo jar he cracked open, and he just goes, And he just goes nuts. He's uncontrollable. It's incredible. These things that happen. It's unbelievable. What do you have to say for yourself, Eric?
I demand that
A recount?
No, I demand that Amit go back to the show so I can get the hell out of here.
No. If Amit shows up, then you both stay in perpetuity.
No.
You're just trying to trap more people is what you're doing.
And he and I are going to have a violent confrontation when I see him.
A violent confrontation.
Because he should be here, not me.
I don't think so. I don't think there is anyone who deserves to be. There is no one here. We are men of peace. There is no one here who deserves to be here more than this man. Right there. No one deserves it more than you. It's all right, Louis. I understand. Good evening, Orlando. 100% more mature? I don't know. I don't know if it's that special, Amanda. It's special. But is it that special? I got questions. Thank you, Orlando. Appreciate it. So, with that preamble, that's a special preamble. We needed a couple of minutes, acknowledge everybody. But technically, Brandon, it is a podcast episode. So, we got to do it. So, we got the overlay. So, here we go. Under the watchful eyes of Rev Pavra, live. So a couple of the segments will still happen, but one of the segments may be delayed by a couple of minutes because I forgot to mention it beforehand, and I don't think anybody sent me a silly card of the week candidate yet. I can give you the results of last week's because I do have that, but for the other part, everyone scramble, do your homework quickly.
Yeah, I have one that I can pull up pretty quickly, and it works perfectly with. Dang. Voice cracking. Look, guys, I'm getting younger on here.
I think you're remote. I think you're choked up, Brandon. I think the special occasion of it all really got to you.
This is going to go perfect with the maturity.
The maturity, okay,
of this. Yeah,
sure.
This is definitely mature.
Oh yeah, I've no doubt. Eric, how do you feel about the likelihood of this being mature? What kind of odds do you like on that?
Slim to none.
Yep. We did get, by the way, for the record, I'm going to take a little image just to showcase it. For the record, very good turnout on last week's Silly Card of the Week voting. 56 votes. That's strong. Really good, actually. I was very impressed. Very impressed. And it actually stayed pretty close for a while. I was actually kind of impressed by that too, to be honest. So I appreciate it. We did count all the votes, so we will give you the results here momentarily. So let me share here, and I will share the results of last week. And then, like I said, we'll compile something for this week. So we'll get all that settled in the next couple of minutes. But for now, I figured we will show last week's results. So check this out. Boom, 56 votes. And the winner is the Pine Tar Lunch with 45% of the popular vote. Broccoli Fractor hung in there pretty good. It was actually Brandon neck and neck between the two of them for the majority of the week.
It's been kind of close the last couple weeks. That's good. That's good.
So that one worked out pretty well. Credit to them for that one. 150, no Bobby, no Yannick, no Brad or Amanda. Well, they're not on the podcast episodes usually. I don't think
we've never had a guest.
No, we've had Wes on. Wes has been on the podcast before.
I don't remember.
Podcast specifically.
Has it been that long? Maybe I am.
It's been a while. It's been a while, but yeah, we did a player-centric episode, and I think we were talking about some of his collection on there. But we did an episode where Wes specifically.
Oh yeah, I do remember now. Okay.
Yeah, with that one we have to schedule it because since we are pre-recording it, we usually schedule it. But yeah, Wes was able to come by and he did join us for an episode. So I think he's been the only official guest, I believe. So that works out. Allegedly, you think so?
Brad is the laziest person I've ever met in my entire life. There is no way he was a little busy.
Well, of course, it was busy. Someone allegedly may have submitted 1,450 Pinto Young Guns. I won't say who, but we have suspicions. I'm just throwing it out there. Rumors.
I have a bunch raw too. What should I do with them?
I don't know.
I heard he's on a heater.
Bring him to Canada and get them all graded right in front of you.
They might charge me. This guy's on such a heater that they might be like, no, you can't bring this into Canada without paying. And then what am I
Who
going to do?
knows?
They already want me to pay for parking every single where I go. I learned that about Canada.
It's the worst.
Well, it could be worse. If you're Eric, they charge you for parking even in residential houses. Like if somebody invites him over to the house. Now, in fairness, they do that in Boston as well. Like he goes, and they're like, "Yeah, it's a Canada thing," and they go, "We're in Boston."
You're
It's
driving,
like,
I'm driving. Wonder if we could manage to share a space.
I think if you park like this sideways, just tilt Eric's car sideways and just leave it like that. It'll work. It's amazing. Indeed. Indeed. Thank you, Phil. Brad will give you PSA 11s. That's right. If you get the homie hookup,
Ooh.
you get 11s.
You get
Turn it up to 11. Spinal
Yes.
tap style, buddy. Spinal tap style.
That is true.
Mhm. Yes, indeed. So we'll share, which, like I said, we'll share that in a couple of minutes. But let me actually, since we were talking about Brad here, let me share a little story time. I did share an image with Eric and Brandon. So in preparation for the PSA Canada office opening in Mississauga, not Toronto, Mississauga, not far from the site of the expo, not Toronto, Mississauga. So just to make a distinction between those two places. In preparation for that, Brad was already in town over the weekend, so was preparing. Now he did, I'll tell you separately from it, he did go to game, I believe he actually attended, he did go to game 6 because he had tickets to game 6, and he does have tickets to game 7. So I don't know if he's making it out to games, that's a pretty high tension situation. So I don't know if he wants to sit at the dome and, feel those feels with the people around him. But he did have tickets to game 6 and game 7. But to complete the weekend, I was chatting with him kind of on a separate thing, kind of checking in, saying, how things going. So I get a message afternoon on Saturday, and he goes, "I'm thinking about going to the Leaf game." And I'm like, "I see." So we can go back and forth, and I say, "All right, sure, let's do it." So we end up figuring that out. Now the thing is, based on where he's situated and everything, he's trying to figure out. Part of it is also he wants to understand how to do the commute, because where the office is near Pearson Airport. And they've got this and Eric, this, it's got like a multi-deck parking garage kind of deal. So you got the terminals, and then you got this multi-deck parking garage. And Brandon, when you get there, even though whether you're coming in from the airport, you're still going to drive right by it. You're going to see it. It's this whole thing with a multi-tier parking garage thing. It's a little complicated to figure out and get around, but you can park there. And then they've got like a tram basically that'll take you from the different terminals. So that's one thing. That's fine. But then in addition to that, there is I forget what they call it. They just call it like the up. But basically, if you use it, it's basically a train that takes you from Pearson Airport. There's 2 stops, and then you can stop at Union Station in Toronto. So basically, he wants to figure that out because he's going to be using part of that for his commute when he's going into the office. But then in this case, he also wants to be able to get easily to Toronto, so we figure we'll use that. Okay, cool. So I meet him halfway, and I introduce him to Square One, which is our shopping downtown in Mississauga. We go back over there, we figure that out, head over. And by the time we head over, it's already time basically to the game to start. So we go in. So I'm like, all right, so we're going to have to eat. And then now, to be clear, I have no idea where the seats are. He's got the tickets. He's got the seats. We figured out all the digital transfer. By the way, the digital transfer thing is a pain in the ass. I like that when it's a paper ticket, because we have to figure out how to transfer it, because he's got the 2 tickets on his phone, but he's got to transfer it over to me. So I got to he's got to log into his account, figure out how to share and transfer it, then transfers it to me. And then I got to figure out how to do it. And I'm sitting there like, how is this stupid? So we finally figured it out, and I got the damn ticket on my phone. Okay, great. We get in the door, and we're in the lower level, and we're actually over on the side. I think I took a picture. I showed you guys basically where it is. I took a picture of it, and we're kind of on the side of it looking up. It's actually really nice seats, 13th row from basically the lower bowl. And I'm like, I see. So Eric, we do not hang with the commoners. So of course, these are the seats where basically you can have food and drink brought to your seat, because heaven forbid you get up. It's not what the people do, Eric. It's not what the people do.
When he was generous enough to give Yannick and I tickets, we had to sit with the commoners. So I'm a little pissed right now.
Eric, hold on. To be fair, while it is a low bar, Brad does like me way more than you.
Everybody likes everybody more than they like me.
But that's what I'm getting at. So then, really, should you be surprised? You should be surprised that he actually got you tickets that got you into the building.
Yeah, but people like Yannick, though.
I know, but he associated with you, and that's it. It's over.
All right, that's fair. You judge
you dragged him down.
You're judged by the company you keep. So I
That's what I'm saying.
That. All right.
That's what I'm saying. That's it. I don't know what to say. It's the upcharge on Pinto PSA 10s. They're all worth the monies. Lyric lived in Wisconsin. Okay. Yeah, Up is amazing. I used to get the games from the expo. Yeah, and that's exactly it. If you're around that area, you can use that. It's literally 3 stops total. So basically, you can just go back and forth from where Pearson is right over to Union Station, and then you're in downtown Toronto. And then where you are in Union Station, hockey arena's right there, baseball stadium's right there. Like they're right beside each other. You're very close to all that. Once you get off the station, you're already there. You don't have to walk too far, and you're already in a good place. Indeed. Good evening, Jeff. It's too bad Amit didn't join the program tonight. Well, that would have required me to remember to invite him. So that is why Amit is not here.
I love Amit. I do. He's great.
Yep. Everybody's got to cut corners. Digital tickets. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the digital tickets, man. That's one thing. Like for sure, I'm not a fan. Like I appreciate the convenience of being able to just, because it's literally just a thing you can tap with your phone. Like with the model that I have, you can literally just tap on it and then boom, there you go. There's your admission. You're done. So that's good. Then you don't have to worry about having it in a pocket somewhere and finding the ticket or whatever. That's convenient. But then the rest of it, getting it transferred and getting it all figured out is kind of annoying. So anyway, we get food and drink brought to the seats and everything. And of course, you have to take out a second mortgage. So I did that so that they could, drink food and all that.
You have milk your kidneys still?
I might have volunteered yours. So when you come by, just join me. I've got an appointment made for you. Don't worry. We already made all the arrangements. Canadian healthcare will handle it. Brandon, we got this covered.
Okay, a minute. Canadian healthcare. All right, so I get there and then I wait 2.5 years. Okay, no problem. I'm good.
No, you basically have to stay in a cell for 2.5 years until they take it. So you're not going anywhere. You will be, so you will have a new location. We've got a single Boston Bruins jersey we'll put in the background, and that's going to be your new spot. Bring pillows.
Okay.
So yeah, digital paper. So anyway, after Eric loses his kidney in a couple of years. So the good news, Brandon, is we've got another 2 years of live streams that Eric will be good for.
Don't forget.
I know exactly where he's going to be. It's going to be. It's going to be great. And the good news then also is that the food will be taken care of by then. Love it. So we've got that. But one of the things that I didn't realize, because I had been to the arena for the AEW show back in September, but for the hockey game, I had never been to a Maple Leafs game at, the Air Canada Center / Scotiabank Arena, whatever they decide to call it now. I had never been there for a hockey game. So they turn on and activate certain specific things that are not on all the time. And one of the things that I saw was like, they got these little things that the branding is, they just call it the cantina, but they've got a bunch of them all through the lower bowl and everything. So in the first period and second period, we get up just to walk around a little bit and get some air between periods. But as we're walking around, they're like, all right, I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to grab a drink or whatever. So they got these little cantinas. You literally just tap your card. It opens a little gate. You grab whatever you want and then you walk out the gate. It charges you based on just the space that you're in there. You don't have to then go to anybody. You just grab your stuff and just leave. And I was like, this is a very quick way to lose a lot of money, Eric. When they've removed all the friction of literally, as soon as you walk through the gate, your card has already been pre-tapped. You grab whatever the hell you want. You walk out with it. It's like, and you've already been charged for it. Okay.
I don't know. I guess I don't understand the technology of how do they know what you took? Is it just a flat fee?
No, it's not. There's different stuff there. Imagine if it was a flat fee, Eric. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to figure out. Like, how do you tap to get in? Grab what you want and then leave. I mean, how does it know?
I don't know. Our AI overlords are mighty and powerful. What do you want from me? There is literally no one stopping you from walking out the thing is, you've got 2 security people standing right there at both sides of it, and you just grab the stuff, and you had already pre-tapped it. And by the way, I had charges on my card. I checked. And here's the weird part. The charges were correct based on the price of the items I grabbed. So I'm not going to ask how they did it. I'm just assuming AI magic.
That is some weird shit, man.
It uses laser beams, Eric. Laser beams. I don't know.
I wonder if it's something similar to the little thing that they have at some of the gas stations here now, where you don't have to scan anything. You just set it there and it knows what the hell it is and what to charge you.
I just know I was charged for all the things, and based on what I grabbed, Brandon, it was accurate. It was the price that they put on there. The things that I grabbed were that amount. So what I was charged was correct. So Eric, AI magic. Praise the AI overlords? Question mark? I don't know.
Okay.
Managed to do it. Otherwise, Eric.
Yeah,
What
I
happened?
know.
It's like, raid the beer section. Hold on. Take all these beers.
Filling up my
Wow.
backpack and be like, all right, it was a $25 flat fee. All right, just load them up, baby.
Hey, I don't know what to say, man. Just grab your stuff and go, buddy.
Yes.
I will say, for all the fanciness and bouginess, Eric would have appreciated the bouginess. There was a lot of bouginess going on in that main floor. Let me tell you, a lot of bouginess. But one thing that was lackluster, I will say, beer selection could have done better. It just wasn't a lot of selection. I was sitting there like, there were a couple of fine options, but I was sitting there like, Coors.
Guinness?
Nope.
Oh well, then shut the whole building down. That's stupid.
Yeah, shut it down. Shut it all down. That's it. Bobbles says, I'm not sure how it works, but I love all charges, including upcharges. Understandable. Understandable. Who doesn't? Honestly.
I heard that's the new thing. Love.
I upcharge Eric on the like button all the time. He loves it.
Nope, I really don't. No, it brings me no joy. No joy in Mudville.
See? Phil says, wish they had a girlfriend store like that.
Well, as long as they have a return policy.
I was going to say there's probably no return policy. It's like, that's a devil's bargain if ever there was one. It's like, I don't think you understood what you were about to be charged, but go for it.
Gotta have a return policy.
No return policy, Eric. You're gonna need a lawyer for that one.
It's like hospitals, with babies. But once they become teenagers, you should be allowed to return them.
That is a theory you can have. That is a dream that you can have indeed.
Be a line around the block with parents going, all right, this one's broken. I want to return it.
Yep. Heading to Vegas for the girlfriend store. That might be accurate. That might be in Vegas. Everything's legal. So that might be your best bet.
There is a girlfriend store in Vegas. That's true.
There's a store for everything in Vegas, Eric. It's easier to find what you don't have a store for.
Go to Amsterdam also. I hear they have some girlfriend stores there also.
They may. Allegedly
have some girlfriend stores in Amsterdam.
Indeed. So overall, I'll say the game was fun. It was a good time. I did enjoy it. The local team did not win, but I'm an Leafs fan, so I don't care. But I was entertained, and we got bonus hockey. It did go to overtime too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we got bonus hockey, and then it was fun. We had a good chat, and we made fun of Eric. A lot of that, as is the way.
I wasn't even there. Why did I come up? That's just
Eric. You are never far from our minds. That's why your boundless complaining, honestly, is unseemly. Because Brandon, we spent all this time, like, we think, what would Eric think in this moment? Or what could we do for Eric? Most of it is, what horrible thing could we do to Eric? But the point is, we think about Eric. That's the point. It's the thought that counts.
No.
There's a lot of thought.
No, disagree.
Totally. It's very important, Eric.
I prefer that you all forget who I am and move on.
I mean, he texted you a photo, so he's literally got proof he was thinking about you.
Absolutely.
Was it just to me?
It was the accessible chat with you in it.
It was. I also thought that Brandon would appreciate it, given it was the Kraken. I knew you would pick up on that.
I was at dinner. I showed the missus, and yeah, she had some choice words. And then after she seen that they won, she said, "Ha, tell them that's for not inviting her
to Canada for hockey."
Well, Eric, we invited you to the hockey game. Brad went, "Hey, Eric, want to come to a hockey game?" And we waited.
Yeah.
You weren't there.
No, there's some other things going on. I'm sorry.
Terrible. Mike says, Brandon, that thing keeps going. It's going to be out of frame of the picture. At what point do we trim? When he goes full Gandalf. While we do not go full Yasavage.
I actually did trim it recently. About between a half inch and an inch, I trimmed it. So it was longer.
Ooh, there you go. Never go full Gandalf. Hockey says, Carlos, how come you don't take in cheap OHL games? Who says I haven't? That's an assumption on your part. And also, for the most part, when it comes to the OHL, I send my local OHL correspondent, Bougie Eric.
I've never been to an OHL game.
Yeah. Next time you see the sign that says Brampton Battalion, that's OHL. Live the dream, Eric. Brampton Battalion. Let's go.
I'd go to one.
OHL is actually pretty good. OHL and AHL are fun games. Eric is my favorite character on the BIC show. See, Amanda likes her.
No, she likes the character. In real life, she doesn't. She doesn't care for me.
Who does?
Nobody.
Not a living soul.
If
Not
my
one.
mother's watching this right now, she's shaking her head, going, "Just another disappointment."
She was the one that told you about the rules of the teenagers and should have been able to do the return policy, huh?
That's the first time
That's
I
where
heard
you
about
got
it.
the idea.
That's the first time I heard about it. And then when I had one, I realized how correct she was.
She probably told you she took you back, but she had lost the receipt.
No, yeah, Salem Hospital said, "I'm sorry, no returns after 90 days."
Not even if you cast a spell, nothing.
No,
unbelievable. What a ripoff.
I know.
See, and you're bitching and moaning, Eric, about healthcare. And joke's on you. If I need healthcare, I get it way faster than that. That delays for the peasants. Or if we want to leave you in that room. It's like, we have somebody ready. No. Take your time. Take your time. That guy in line looks like he needs to go ahead. Just let him go ahead.
These guys like, I got a splinter.
Carlos, are allowed to be pickups from sets before 2000 or after 2010? They're all between 2001 and 2009. All of them. Nothing else exists. There is only Zool.
Did you see that? What happened?
Thank you, Kathy. Good evening. My good says, must be Eric's Dutch bloodlines. I know.
I don't have Dutch bloodlines.
It would explain your wrongness.
I don't have Dutch bloodlines. Thanks, Mom. You're the best.
Of course. All right. What's your question, Eric? You had a question before you were interrupted.
I was going to ask you if you saw that poll of that new Madonna 101. Hold on a second.
You're talking about the Shield? I am going to bring that up in a minute. I do, in fact, I actually have it open in a tab. It was indeed.
Is this the bounty one?
Yes,
Ooh.
it is. So
Did you throw
Brandon,
a
listen.
bigger bounty?
God no. So, but Brandon, it was beautiful that it was brought to my attention before the show. So I was like, great, I'll leave it up in a tab so that I can. So we are actually going to get a follow up on this since it has in fact been pulled. So I think this will be fun.
Well, it just raised all the prices of yours.
I know,
allegedly,
right? Allegedly. Listen, I'm gonna need that kind of money if I'm ever gonna be. So going back to the conversation we were having about the hockey game and everything, beautiful, great seats and everything, and the lower bowl and all that. But Brandon, the only basketball game I ever been to for the Raptors was in box seats because I happened to through work they happened to have box seats and they said, "Hey, do you want to come?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And then the only baseball game I took in this year was also in a box seat as a thing with what I was doing. And then there's these seats here that were gifted basically. So Brandon, I can never go where the commoners ever go again. I have been spoiled. I am ruined.
Eric, and he doesn't mean the seats where you sit on the box, okay?
Yes. Yes. Ruined. Brandon, ruined. That's it. I'm nearly as bougie as that bastard down there. It's bad. It's bad. Yeah. It's over. Thank you, Kathy.
My mother.
Anyone else's internet blip out and cut out before Carlos read the compliment about Eric? I know. Did it even happen? I don't even know. Bobbles, what comes out next for you after life after SCG? Now, this is important. He didn't say SGC. He said SCG. This is important.
I can never get it.
I can't answer because can someone explain who SCG is? So maybe
they're just like PAS. They grade cards and shit, just like PAS.
I don't know I didn't know I had them, so I don't know what life will be without them. So I can't say. But if you're talking SGC, well, that boat has sailed like several months ago, and life has been pretty good. Actually, I've regained some time in my life, And as for me grading with them, I don't know if you've caught this. I've shared it before, but might shock folks. It's been since October of 2023 since I had graded anything personally with them.
2 years.
So, and nothing against them. It was a shift in what I was grading and I'm all about opportunity. And another
There you go.
company was cheaper. So
There you go. So Mike's got a question for you. So I'll put this on you here and I'll come right back. Brandon, did you go to the last Chantilly show? At what location? And if so, how was it?
I did not. I actually was on the road and seen the facility. But I had to, and that's also why I didn't come in bugging Eric on Friday night either. My daughter, I had to take her up to the airport on Saturday.
You tried to
flew.
return her.
What?
You tried to return her.
No. She went to the F1 race yesterday again. I got her tickets for it last year for graduation, and so she is now hooked on going. So she flew down to Austin, Texas, and went to the race yesterday. So, and I didn't get a chance. Friday it's just late in the evening, and then Sundays it's like I didn't go. So, I seen a lot of posts about it, but as far as attending, I did not make it.
No, that's Chantilly show. We hear so much about it. You know, it's a major show on the, you know, this side of the country. Is it, would you say, first of all, how many tables do you think it is roughly?
I've never paid attention to what they advertise. If I had to guess, I mean, it's a pretty large. Let me see if they post, because I never pay attention to what they say.
Shriners coming up, and that's over 500.
Oh, this is probably way bigger than that. Let's see what they advertise it. 130,000 square foot show floor, 650 plus tables.
Yeah. So, yeah. You know, so maybe a little bit bigger than Shriners, though, because I mean they're 500, between 5 and 6 somewhere.
Now,
Yeah, it's a pretty big show. It has a lot of big autograph audience that comes
big autograph,
to it.
yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of the attendance, when you see some of the videos and stuff of it, a lot of the attendance is people there to get autographs. It's not always just, you know, people there for the cards. The thing that I'm curious to see, and I haven't heard any announcements, they are turning that building, the facility, into an IKEA store.
Ugh.
So I don't know where they are going to have the show, because again, the autograph attendees are the big draw, and it's so close to Dulles Airport. That's why I joked. I've seen the facility because I drove right by it. So to get somewhere that they could get athletes in and out and make it, you know, enticing for them to come because it's not a big headache, I don't know where they're going to have it. So that'll be something interesting to keep an eye on. I mean, hell, this show they had Gronk. He flew in. He was there all 3 days.
Wow.
So they get some pretty big names there. So
nice. It was a valid question. I actually had something being delivered, so I was like, "You guys are super late. I thought you'd be there much sooner." But all right, I guess I'll grab it. So yes, let me quickly grab this here. I did want to make mention of it, since Eric also made note of it. We had talked about GP sports cards. We talked about the bounty with all the shields. That was last week's episode. We talked about that. So he mentioned it, and Louis sent over the link on the eBays. The shield has been listed. The very same shield. Oh yes, and it is currently active. I'm going to show you the actual listing. Because at this point, you know, basically we're into the area. It's going to be Mr. Wonderful and Eric going back and forth on this one. Big monies. So it's right now it's up to 3,350 US. Now, if you all remember, the bounty was 7K Canadian, which translates to just shy of 5K US. So, but it's still got comfortably over 4 days. This one is supposed to end though, Brandon. Appropriate. It's going to end on Friday night. So we will have a follow-up on the regular Friday Night Live. We can do a watch-along.
I heard those are like really popular.
Super popular. Well, this one's going to end about an hour and a half into the show. So we'll basically be just warming up, and then we'll find out the conclusion of this one. I have been told that Grant from GP Sports his offer was declined by the seller. So now we'll see if the seller can get more money for it than that bounty that was on the table. That 7K was right there on the table. You didn't even have to go through this entire rigmarole. So they're banking, they're hoping that the eBay's people will want it for more. Now, I'm back to my original question. Why? I have no comps or anything that would suggest that it should be going even for this much. I don't understand. ¿Por qué? Other than Eric's infinite wealth, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I got nothing. So originally my first thought before that little nugget was added into it, my original thought, Eric, would have been that maybe a couple of people are like competing to try to buy it and then maybe flip it to grand for a small profit. At least, get a little bit out of it.
Right.
To me, the 7K Canadian seems like a real strong offer to me. Almost 5K US. That seems like a pretty strong offer in my world. But again, given that I have never seen a Medano Shield sell for 5K US. So where are we going with this?
Right.
So I wanted to go look at the bidding so far.
Go for it.
First of all,
Yeah.
props to the seller. I mean, he listed the main image as a vertical image with the card sideways.
Well, the thing is,
hope
actually,
that works
Brandon,
for you.
I actually helped him because the first image is actually this one.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So
But
I prefer this image, Eric. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to actually see the card properly.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid.
Yes.
the high bidder has 8 feedback.
Yep. I got questions.
Does anyone notice that the seller only has 186?
Yeah, that's why it's a little weird. Now they are competing with someone that has 9,894 feedback.
Yeah.
So there is a legitimate bidder there, but yeah.
Am I the only one that thinks it's a surprise? Maybe I'm surprised that they went to eBay with this. I would have thought
Not necessarily.
a different auction house.
No, I think, Eric, at this price point, I think if you're under, this is just an arbitrary line I'm throwing out here. I think if you're under 20K, I think eBay is still very viable. I think if it's something where you feel like it could go for more, then yeah, I would look at maybe a Fanatics or whatever, one of these other ones. Yes. Yeah. But I think for something like this, it is plausible to me that someone would pay 5K or 6K on eBay because that totally does happen.
Right. Especially for
that's
hockey.
Still at a that's still at a price. It's an aggressive,
like Slab Sharks or something, right? That's like so hockey driven.
Yeah.
Right. That's the one I'm right about that, right? I said the right one, right? So Slab Sharks.
Yeah, Slab Sharks does a lot of
very,
hockey.
Very hockey driven.
Sure.
I would think that not only would the hockey people be going there, but they would maybe even advertise it a little bit. You know what I mean? And say, this is what's coming up. I know that Jeremy does works with them and he does preview shows and stuff like that.
Not only that, Eric, not only that, Louis and the Gong Show guys literally will do a watch along on the Slab Sharks.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think between, those guys and Jeremy talking stuff like that up, I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe that's the direction I would have went if I had, a huge card like this, especially if there was a bounty out after it and there was press. Mm-hmm. I would be like, no, I'm just going to throw it on eBay and get and have it get lost on eBay. I want to send it someplace where, they're going to put a spotlight on it.
Now, I do have 2 interconnected questions, and I'd like to ask you 2, and I'd also like to ask the chat.
Okay.
The reason why I thought the bounty thing last week was interesting. So Louis here is saying I wouldn't give the 3,500 they want for it now. I agree. And I talked about this last week. I said, for me, it's not even the money being an object thing. I could snap my fingers, win the lottery right now. I'm still not interested. To me, this is higher than what I believe it to be worth. However, if somebody can disagree and be willing to pay more, then more power to them. Fair enough. I think it's a nice card. I would be happy to have it in my collection, but it is already past the point where it makes sense to me. It does not make sense to me. But if someone wants to pay for it, have at it. But what I think is interesting, and this is my 2-part question. First part is, so do you think the bounty itself also kind of set a new anchor? Because if you know about it and then you see this card in your brain, you've almost like pushed the price up relative to where you might have been if you had just been left alone and just be like, how much do I think this is worth? But
Right.
now you just create a scenario where somebody's at least thrown a number out there and you
Yeah.
got that in your head.
So this hobby right now is driven by comps, right? You
Yeah.
go to a show, they come into the shops, and the customer is sitting there with their phone in their face, and they're looking for comps, And on the other side of the counter, dealers are also, looking for comps, and so they can try to meet in the middle and the whole thing. Well, when you put out a guaranteed bounty, that's the comp. That's the only one, especially for a one of one. There's nothing else out there. It's never been sold before. Before someone even has it in hand, there is a comp for it. The comp is what did we say? 5,000 American. The comp's 5,000. Now, no one has to agree with that because most people don't agree with the comps one way or another on a daily basis, whether it be a $10 card or a $10,000 card. So, depending on what side of the counter you're on, you probably don't like the number that's coming up. So the card is worth 5,000 US. Like it or not, think it's stupid, whatever garbage idea that comes along with that, it's worth 5,000 because there is a guaranteed bounty for it. So that is what it is worth.
So I was browsing around their account, both active and completed. I would bet money, and I seen the link shared that it looks like Leighton pulled the shield. Looking at their pictures and some of the cases, I would say this individual is probably newer to the hobby, and it looks like they buy into a lot of breaks, and there's nothing set with what they're interested, because they got racing, hockey, football, Leaf stuff, baseball, basketball, and it's all newer stuff that would be gotten in breaks. So they may not even know anything about the card, and they're just getting into breaks, get the hits in, throw them up, and put them up for auction. This might have shocked the hell out of them. Now, if they were reached out to with a 7K offer, they might have said no, because now they're like, oh, somebody's reaching out to me this quick and offering $7,000. Maybe I can get more for it. Who the hell knows? But yeah, I mean, just looking at stuff, I would probably bet they buy into a lot of breaks. They sold a nice Jake Ottinger 3-color patch auto out of 15 from 2023 Ultimate for $61. Not bad. But yeah,
I think it just makes it kind of interesting because now I'm curious where it ends up because it does feel like, to kind of Eric's point from earlier, it does feel like an amateur hour kind of operation, and they'll do well. Like, look, let me be clear. In my opinion, strictly my opinion, I already think they've gone higher than I would have even considered would have been reasonable for that card in the first place. Like, as it is right now in my mind, I don't see how we get there. I think it's a very nice card. I think it's a very cool card. And I would, again, saying from earlier, I would be happy to have it in my collection. But like I said, if I had pulled the card, I already said, I would have taken grand 7K. Like, no questions asked. I'd be like, here you go. Thanks very much. Have a great day.
You made that very clear, and as you should have.
Yeah. So it's like, there is a point at which, it's not worth that much to me. So hanging on to it when that money is literally sitting right on the table and they'll just slide it across the table to me, that's the easiest transaction you're going to do. So it's like, no problem. Happy to do that. But I guess it what it comes down to. So my good here says, what would each one of you price that card? So this is kind of the question. So I'll answer it right now. Back before, obviously, the bounty showed up. If the bounty wasn't there, that's why I asked the first question I asked a few minutes ago. If the bounty wasn't there, then we don't have an anchor like that to play with. I think I showed that at least one of the shields sold not long ago for $2,300. I think that's too high too, but at least that's a sale. At least that has happened. I guess that's kind of where the number is at. So probably, shield auto, I guess it would probably be like $2,500 US is probably where I think it would be. I think it should be less, but at least that's within striking distance of the previous number that I can actually find and verify and confirm. I believe that there's been some private sales between a couple of collectors that have traded some of those cards back and forth. I don't know how much they paid for them. So that might change a little bit of the discussion. But again, I don't agree with the numbers they came up with. This is one of the situations, Eric, where I don't agree with the numbers you came up with. So
Right.
y'all can pay as much or as little as you want. I was like, I don't agree. that isn't what I would do, but to each, if you want, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as Grant threw out that number, though, the answer kind of has to be, what would you price that card at? $7K Canadian.
Yep.
So I was
Until further notice, until somebody proves otherwise, that's the price.
That it's guaranteed.
looking at Terapeak over the last 3 years, obviously, and I just typed in NHL Shield 101. Surprisingly, there's only been 12 in the last 3 years
Yeah, it's not,
that
they're
have
not often. They
exceeded
don't transact a lot.
$5,000.
The biggest ones, like truthfully, the biggest Shield cards are trading like it shows and in transactions. So I'll give you an example. Speaking, since we were talking about GP and I brought it up, they did a show vlog, Eric, where they did the show in Saskatoon, but they also did the show in like Montreal because there were the two shows on the same weekend, and they
Yep.
sent a couple of people to buy at one show and a couple of people to buy at the other show. So he had representation in both shows. In the Saskatoon show, he did a deal for a Patrick Waugh shield. So a Patrick Waugh shield from a different product. I'll see if I can find the Instagram post for it. A very nice card. Now, and one thing I'll say, just so we're on the same page, I do appreciate that given that he's running a store, given that transactions like that are kind of easy to see, I do appreciate that they are pretty transparent about a lot of those. They will actually showcase in the vlog how much they're saying they're paying for it. Now, you can take them at their word because if you're not there, but at least they're throwing some numbers out that are out there, and then you can decide for yourself if you agree with those numbers, disagree with those numbers, or think that those, it's accurate or whatever the case may be. Now, I know that Grant, the owner there, does collect a lot of these shields for himself. So if it's something he's collecting for himself, then probably that's going to be whatever the price is in line with what he actually wanted. So he did a deal that was a trade deal. And the trade deal was, I think, $18,000 plus some cash or some. There was some combination there, and we'll call it just shy of 20,000 for a wash shield. So again, that's a pretty big card, pretty massive, I would say, and a pretty big deal. But that's not strictly a cash deal, Eric. So in the world of comps, what do you treat a deal where, like, there's, say, let's just make it even, $20,000 worth of consideration. There's some cash, some cards. Is that really a comp when it's like a combination of trade and cash?
Nope.
Yeah. So then reality, so what's the wall worth? We don't know. Like, we can't answer that question.
No.
Because a transaction happened. The card changed. So Brandon's question, the card did change hands. And we've got it on videotape, the transaction. But what happened was there was a stack of cards and a little bit of cash that went one way, and then the shield card went the other way.
Yeah.
But that's not going to show up on any of the comp things because it's not a real comp in the traditional sense at all.
Correct. Yeah. No, there has to be, I'm going to give you cash. You're going to give me something in return. And then that's your comp. You can't play around with it and do half of this and a quarter of that. And I'm going to go out and wash your car at lunch. And no, it doesn't work that way.
Isn't that how you get most of your stuff?
Shut up. That's my secret. You don't have to tell people. And when you come up to Canada, I think I owe you like 3 car washes. So we'll take care of that when we get there.
Indeed. But I think
well, then I should have drove the Jeep.
I was going to say, but I think though, Brandon, you'll get what I'm saying about this is that kind of changes the dynamic, because when you're trying to figure out, when you are trying to comp some of these things, you saw that there's not a ton of transaction volume. You don't have a lot to go by, but anything over $5,000, a lot of them are going to basically be that kind of a transaction. It's going to be like, okay, look, I want that card, but can I trade you some stuff as well? So there will be maybe some cash, but also some cards will go the other way, and kind of that's how they'll work out the deal instead of doing it strictly cash. And that kind of throws it off, because then you got nothing to look up. There's nothing. And even if you did, how is that going to help you?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It got pulled quick since we talked about it, and
It did.
turning down what we thought was already
I thought it was very strong.
an
I thought it was a
excessive
very strong.
number,
Yeah,
so to speak.
Philly number. Straight
Uh,
Philly.
now the question, but the thing is with this is, you know, what if it exceeds 7? Well,
So that
actually, if it was 7 Canadian, what if it exceeds 5, which it's on the pace to do so? That just resets the market, I would think, for Medano.
at least at the high end, it does. I
Well,
get closer
yeah,
to
I
being
mean,
rich,
like,
Eric.
because you were talking
Suit
about some
my
of
boat
your
is nigh.
shields and stuff. Yeah.
My boat is nigh.
Yeah, being rich is fun.
See, he admits it. See, now he knows.
Oh yeah.
Bobbles says, "Does the year of release give you heartburn, Carlos?" No. The Upper Deck has to find things to make value in some of these ones. I was surprised at how many retired players and legends they still had shields to make more cards for. Because they threw it, because you saw that list from that bounty that we showed off. You know, Gretzky, sure, but again, Gretzky's a big one. But then you got Owen Nolan, you got Bork, you got Yzerman, you got a bunch of players, and I'm sitting there like, really? Okay, it's kind of it. Rob Blake, I think, was on
Well,
that list. It was a lot.
but does it not go back to we've talked about how much it costs to buy a full game used jersey versus how much it costs to go like buy the card? Hell, they can probably go out there and buy some of these jerseys and cut them up and then, you know, put them in the products and make way more than they're paying for these jerseys.
I don't remember exactly how much the Ray Bork one was, but for whatever it is, I could literally give to Ray and like have him be my friend for the day.
Wasn't it
For the day.
70,
Yeah.
72?
If I gave Ray $7,000 cash and said, "I just want you to be my friend for the day," he'd be like, "Cool, where are we going?"
Mm-hmm.
Ray likes money. I'm just saying.
Does he like the money if you say, "I'd like you to come to my van that says free candy on the side of it"? Ray may be like, "That's going to cost you a little more, Eric."
7,000, he may do it.
I'm just asking a question, just
So,
posing a question.
I'm just, I mean, but $7,000, you can buy a game used jersey, like Bobbles was saying. I can, for a few $100, I got Ray's game used stick right over there, autographed. I mean, it's just dumbfounding to me that those numbers were what they were. I'm telling
Well,
you,
I think Eric, my takeaway from all of this, and I'll say this, Brandon, is that I screwed up because Maigret was the one who did a lot of the jerseys, and I think they still do for a lot of the teams. They do the jerseys for the because they would get different sets, road and home sets, and all that of the different game used jerseys. And for years they had the Medano, and I think the Medano was 5,000 US, like a gamer, the actual jersey, the whole thing. Now, I didn't happen to have $5,000 US sitting around, burning a hole in my pocket. The point is, for $5,000, I could have bought the whole jersey, and I would have had the whole thing. And one of them that they had, I think they had two for a while, and one of them was 7,500, but the 7,500 one was actually from the 2000 Stanley Cup Finals. So it was one of the
Oh, yeah.
jerseys worn
So
in the
much
Cup
more
Finals.
significant.
Yeah, so, and that was the one they lost, but it was still from a Cup Finals. So it was a Cup Finals game worn. So you get the shield, you get the patches, you get the whole nine.
The Bork bounty is 7,500.
Yeah,
Yes,
he'll be
that's
your
right.
friend for the day. I shit you not. He would be your friend for the day.
Will he
You
wash your
just went
car?
out today to like 5 or 6 different market basket grocery stores selling his spaghetti sauce. All right. He had a schedule posted like 10 a.m. He's going to be at this store. 11 he's going to be at this store. Noon's going to be at this store.
And Eric followed him to all of them.
Oh, no, because I have access to him, or else yes, I would. I'm sure some people did, but yeah, for $7,500, he'll just be your friend for the day. He'll go play golf with you. I mean, seriously, he'll take you to his restaurant. I mean, if you have $7,500 to be a Ray Bork fan, just go give it to Ray and he'll be your friend for the day. That's just a ridiculous amount of money. That's just stupid. I'm sorry.
Somebody's going to be the winner on this Medano Shield, Brandon, and they're going to be really sad after Eric said all those mean things. Good Lord. Bobbles was right. Carlos to give Eric a homemade coupon for free manual and space viewing. That's all that Eric cares about. Don't listen to that Ray Borg talk. All he needs is a manual and space. That's all that matters. Good evening, Zach. I thought your key to getting rich was a Rosen comeback. Listen, apparently there are multiple avenues to my fortune. Another door has opened, Zach. Another avenue.
Yeah.
We are this much closer to the dream.
Yep. Yeah,
But
you
those
go right
Rays
past
speak-
the good point. You're such an asshole. You know that? We're supposed to be 5% more mature. You're not being 5% more mature. Somebody said, good point, Eric, and you're like, floop. like the Kaiser Soze, gone. You suck.
I didn't catch that.
Oh,
Sorry.
he did it again.
Wait, what? Brandon, did you see that? I didn't see anything.
Unbelievable.
It must be the Amazon servers.
Listen, my eyes are getting a little tired. I'm sorry. My eyes are getting a little tired in my old age. It's rough. It's a rough scene. Would Eric keep Mayo for $7,500? See, he claims it's a lot of money.
Seriously, I wouldn't be able to. As soon as I smelt it, I'd start throwing up. If I put it in my mouth, I would throw up even more. I could not get it down. So,
But
I couldn't.
you once stated that you would eat mayo, you would rub it in your eyes, you would bathe in it. Do you remember that conversation?
I've had a lot of concussions.
This is back in the days we was crying about, oh my eye!
Yeah, and before we,
That was the
I
worst
don't know
pain
if he
I've
ever
ever
did it when we were actually recording, but pre-show, he was like, "Oh man, I'm hurting so bad at this point. I would eat a gallon of mayo. I would put it in my eyes. I would bathe in it. I would lather, like all this stuff."
Something about I would apply it to my eye if I thought it would take the pain away.
No, there was more to it.
I don't recall the rest. I do recall that
That's the concussion syndrome.
If putting mayonnaise in my eye would make that pain go away, yes, I would have done it. I've broken my back twice. I've partially dislocated my hip. I've had tons of other injuries. Nothing hurt more than that eye.
Your mom earlier said she knew you were defective.
2 days in. I guess I had colic or something. I guess I cried a lot. And there was one time she
Wait, Eric, you're acting like that stopped.
No,
we've listened to you all these years. Like, mayonnaise.
Oh, she'll be the first to tell you it hasn't stopped. But I guess the story that she likes to tell is that I was colicky or something, and this went on for days and nights. And at one point, she begged my father, please do not go to work. Do not leave me alone with that baby today. I think she was afraid that I'd drown me. Like, she begged him, do not go to work today. Please don't leave me alone with this baby.
And all these years later going, you should have left me alone with the baby.
Well, now
I would have handled business. Brandon, I would have stood on business.
No.
This would have been taken care of.
Well, now she does it with my wife. Please don't go to work. Don't leave me alone with him. No, nothing's changed.
Yeah. And by the way, that list of injuries he read off, those were all injuries that he sustained while reaching for a chocolate stick. Like the bar is low for how these injuries happen. How he broke his back, Brandon, reaching for a chocolate stick, none of us will ever know. Medical science is still working. We have AI models working on it as we speak. We don't know how that works, but he managed. It's actually kind of incredible if you really think about it. Mike says, Eric, you need to stop riding the bike and just sort your cards. Sorry, kids.
They're
have to
already
cancel
sorted.
fall
They're all in one box.
It's true. It all goes in the box. It all goes in the box. Everything goes in the box.
Just tell me what you want to see. It's right here in the box. I'll pull it right out.
Yeah. Sarah shouldn't bike ain't so bad. So claim. We'll see. So obviously the episode is a little different than normal. Now, I do have good news. I did get everything. I do have the silly card of the week. So we will show it off here for a minute. We'll do a couple of the regular segments, obviously completely out of order. We're just having some fun at this point. And then I'll I know the game's already
we don't need to acknowledge any more comments in the chat. I just think we're done for the night. I think we've put, no, you're not listening yet again.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. My apologies. What were you saying? Thank you, Heavy. Anyway, so Brandon, for the sake of everything, so we may as well. The silly card of the week is here. It's brought to us by our friends at AMG, AMGcollectibles.ca, AMG Collectibles YouTube channel. And Brad, somewhere off in the distance, is probably fighting off Phil. He was able to open up the PSA Canada. We won't specifically be talking about that on the podcast episode. I don't think there's any specific drop this week. I think we get a week off. We already had a couple of weeks where we had some drops. And then I think we're going to be... Now, I could be mistaken on this, Eric. I'm going to double check. But okay. I'm like 90% sure that next week, not this week, next week, we get ingrained icons, which is effectively ingrained SP Signature Legends. That's not a joke. I got to show you guys. It is hilarious.
Oh.
Because Eric, I've got that SP Signature Legends vibe, but with an ingrained veneer on it.
So
you don't have the checklist, do you?
Not yet, but I will. When I get it, we will take a closer look at that thing.
Who's going to be?
So we are still behind on releases, but let's make new products.
It's always make new products, Brandon. Always. Never stop making new products. Always make new products.
I'm thinking Bruce Shoebottom. I think that should be our next hero. If he's on the checklist, God is my witness. Hal Gill's out. Bruce Shoebottom is in.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bite your tongue, sir. You will be struck dead. Not by lightning, Eric. You will be struck dead by mayonnaise that will fall from the heavens.
If they do another set like before, as you are saying, and Bruce Shoebottom is on that list, then we need to put him on our shoulders and champion him.
Yeah, I got.
So is this 24-25?
This is Upper Deck Ingrained Icons, is what they call it.
Oh. Yeah, but is the year 24-25? Because Beckett had an article that they put out in February of 2025 about it.
Yeah, it hasn't been released yet, of course.
Cards don't look too bad.
Ingrained is usually pretty solid. Like Ingrained is actually like I think it's expensive, but I think it's a decent looking set. That's kind of the gag with those.
I don't think I have any.
Yeah, the Ingrained ones, I've definitely gotten some inserts and stuff from Ingrained, but I think specifically they're focusing on icons. So I do want to see the checklist, but because they're going with the icons thing, they're focusing on retired players, legends, and Hall of Famers and such. So I want to see the checklist. I want to know what's in it. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So I want more information.
No checklist up.
Yeah, it's too soon. If I'm right, then probably maybe before the end of the week, because if they're doing it the week after, then maybe by the end of this week we get a checklist for that one. So maybe, or it could get delayed. But I had seen October 29th-ish. I had seen that as a potential release date. So we're getting close. So if we're gonna have a checklist, it should probably be in the next week or so. So we'll see. We shall see. Follow up forthcoming. So for now, I think it's time. Let's do the silly card of the week. Again, links in the description to everything with AMG. I will be there with the collectors, scalps, collected people. We'll have some little fun with that, and we'll talk about a few things. Now, we've got the items here. As always, there will be a community post where you can vote on your favorite, whichever one you like. We count all the votes. The only real democracy in this world. So here it is, Bobby Grich. So who wants to start with Bobby Grich?
We were going mature.
We were.
Design, Donruss 86, the great second baseman, Bobby Grich. He's there getting ready to run. And Donruss did him well with the California, not Anaheim, but California Angels logo strategically placed.
So are you suggesting that Donruss was not 5% more mature?
They definitely were not. Definitely were not.
I see. Intriguing. That is an option. That is one. So 86 Donruss, Bobby Grich. Our second option.
Yeah, I discovered these, and there's a whole set of them, but with Bertuzzi and that no tooth smile, and just that that he's a huge pest and rat, and he's just sitting there smile. It's like it looks like he is going to eat that dog. If you know Tyler Bertuzzi, how he plays, you just like he's smiling because he's going to eat that dog. But
Wow.
this is an actual card set that I came across.
Yes, Day with the Pup.
All instead of Day with the Cup, they come up with Day with the Pup. And if I were ever to open a product and paid lots of money, and this is what I found in it, I'd stop card collecting.
Brandon, I feel like there should be I feel like we should do a bracket where people vote on different gimmicks like this and figure out which one would incite Eric's more rage. We got Day with the Pop, we got the mascot cards, we got Broccoli Fractor, we got that.
Those portrait ones that I just absolutely despise.
Yeah. And then we put the bracket together, Brandon, and we make Eric choose one of them. And then by the end, we're left with one. There can only be one at the end.
Then we know what to send him all the time.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm now just
maybe or maybe not with special labels on the packages.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's real funny. My mother saw that. Yeah.
Bobbles is very close to launching a toothless player's PC. Maybe. Good evening, Paul.
Clark is number one.
Indeed. So that is Eric's contribution. Let me see here. Let's finish off with the last one. Mike Bullard.
Yes.
8889. Yes. The Mike Bullard. 8889. Pictured with Calgary, then with the Blues. 8889 O-Peachy, because everything's O-Peachy.
Everything is O-Peachy.
My favorite thing about this is after listening to Eric's explanation, Mike was obviously watching the show.
Oh.
The vacant look off into the... Brandon, there's something going on here. I feel like Mike has had a lot of concussions during this picture. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. But I just looked at his face and I said, yes.
He just got into a fight and he's picking himself up off the ice. He does not know where he is, or who he fought.
That set holds a special place in my hockey heart.
That sucks.
For some reason, when I would go to shows and find in value boxes Brett Hull's rookie, whether it be Topps or O-Peachy, I would always buy them. And it was because I didn't think I owned one. The problem was I literally have it in the display case that is right above where I've filmed all the SGC previews and reveals. That is right there next to my computer screen. And it finally dawned on me one day. I kept buying them, and I have it right there in the display case. So I have several of them.
Yeah. I hate that year with the pin and everything. I never liked it. Never, ever.
Eric is just a man of anger, not a man of peace.
Well, that's mostly true, yes.
Just saying. Throwing it out there.
But, yeah, he's looks out of his mind. Speaking of Brett Hull, you remember years ago you were trying to figure out you wanted like a PC hockey player to collect, and you were like asking us questions and all this, and I thought you chose Brett Hull, that you were going to start collecting and have a PC of Brett Hull. Whatever happened to that?
I still do have some. So here's if we want to go down this rabbit hole. So I was looking for a player because obviously I was not into hockey during the, might as well say pre-2019. I wasn't into hockey or hockey cards. And so I was trying to find somebody that I could collect to try to learn the older sets and everything. But I don't want to just piss money away on somebody or on cards. So I have to learn and pick and choose and find things that I would like to add, and not just buy Brett Hall cards because it's a player I chose, basically. But it's hard when you don't know. Like I'm not familiar with those sets, so that's also why do the pump thing, Eric. When I'm buying Jason Robertson, if you notice, most of the ones I pick up are the old 90s insert designs. So it's a way for me to connect with my recent stuff with older designs. So there you go. Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Mike was ready. Mike felt the preamble building. He felt it. The momentum was happening. And there it was. Oh, he's grabbing the case.
90s inserts.
He's got 90s inserts.
Oh boy. Here we go.
We can show
Hey,
cards on this thing too.
We invoked the pump, so we got to go for it, man.
That's Marchman, not Robertson. Kraken, we talked about them earlier. Look, 90s stuff. See?
Indeed. At least somebody got into the X2000 as well. Bonus. Phil says 90s tribute cards are the best, Brandon. Fully agree. There you go. Phil's all over it. Babuzel. I thought Cards HQ was going to sell cars like Bobbles is doing now. I know. We were promised live selling.
We were not for sale.
We were promised live selling. Right. We were promised flying cars. We were promised things.
Things were promised.
I don't know if I ever shared this one. And
you definitely shared that card.
No.
Okay.
I had somebody, I don't remember what their name was, but they emailed me 3 or 4 times, random, just would email, hey, are you interested in selling the Robertson Green PMG? No, not for sale. And they would just keep, they finally quit. And I can't remember what the name of on the email was, but who the hell does that? Like, y'all accuse me of pumping, and as you see, it's still in possession. This will be at the expo.
Yeah, about to say.
I gotta wear it in the chain. I gotta put the chain Eric gave me to use.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
See, Eric, read that comment.
Oh, with 5% more mature tonight.
Evening, Paul. Brandon, I think it was Sanderson Door. I know. I know. Right? Right?
It might have been.
Yeah.
I can't remember but yeah, seriously, I had someone, I guess, I don't know if they sent it in a video or what, but they found my email in the YouTube, like, about section or whatever.
Yeah, the about
section. And they tried, like, it was probably three or 4 times they emailed on different occasions. Are you ready to sell that yet? And they would, like, throw offers out, and I never wanted to sell it, so.
Yeah, well, so there is, I've told you guys, I listen to Stacking Slabs, and one of the things that he does chat on a semi-regular basis is, so there is an entire section of folks in the hobby that are interested in certain cards. And unless you kind of make the boundary clear on it, they're going to keep asking, about whatever. I understand it, because what's weird is that the majority of us are used to tire kickers. They're used to people asking about something, but not really like being serious about it. But then there are some folks that are like serious. So here, like Phil's got the right idea here. Persistent, respectful, I think is okay. And I think that's fine, because you can ask, like, look, the worst that somebody can say is no. Now, if somebody keeps coming back over and over again, you then have to decide, okay, you can be a lot more clear on it. You can be more specific. It just depends. Like, I've had people reach out about certain cards, like, would you sell this? And my answer was, nope, PC card. I'm hanging on to it. And then sometimes they come back, and sometimes they're like, okay, they get the hint, and they kind of go off and do their own thing. It depends. It's been collectors, it's been dealers. It just depends. Like, even right now, as we speak, I had somebody add me, and they sent a message earlier today, and they were interested in 2 cards. The thing is, the 2 cars they're interested in, I sold like 6 months ago. So they're old posts and everything. So I'll respond back to them. I'll just let them know, hey, those are long gone.
Tell them to send you PayPal, friends and family, and then get a new phone number.
Yeah, send it over. Yeah, exactly.
The
So you're welcome to ask,
Sorry,
but it's one of those things where sometimes the card is gone and the card is gone. And I'm not going to go find my old post and update it for that. No, thank you. I'm not doing that.
That is why I didn't share too many of the cards that we graded through SGC that were other people's cards, because I would get those messages too. Like private message, hey, is that for sale? How much for that? Is that, and I didn't want to keep explaining over and over, not my card, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think if you're going to do anything that when it comes to my Instagram, I always try to make sure what I'm showing is my cards. If I have any intentions with it, the one thing, and maybe this is kind of a question we could ask, for me, at this point, I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me make sure I get this right. I have over 1,000 posts. I got 1,046. Most of the stuff that I'm going to show on those posts, I'm keeping. Like 99.9% of what's on here is still in my collection to this very day. There are some cards that have definitely sold over time, but I'm not going to sit there and go through 1,046 posts to find certain specific ones if I happen to sell one. So if somebody finds a really old post and asks me about it, they can ask. I'll give them a true answer, but I'm not going to update that. I'm not going to update that post for that.
Eric normally posts himself with people. Are you trying to sell the peoples?
Damn right I am. I just tried to sell Ray Bork earlier for $7,500. If you didn't get the underlying message, I'm like his agent.
The things we learn.
When I was with him last week, and we said, listen, I got an idea, and he's like, all right, man, you go with it. Let's see what happens.
How do you think, Eric? Listen, those like button up charges are serious. They've gotten pretty serious. Eric's got to do what he's got to do. It's for content, bruh. That's right. Phil says, I would never have acquired my Brady to Chuck High Gloss if I didn't ask quite a few times. I got it, though. Big overpay, but I got it. That's fine. And I think sometimes when you ask somebody, they might be inclined. It's just a matter of you having to ask at the right time. And then they're like, all right, now I'm ready to sell it. And that was kind of the story that I was mentioning with the stacking slabs thing. Sometimes somebody has no intention necessarily of selling it, Eric, but they're not attached to it fully, but they also are not committing to wanting to necessarily sell it at that moment because they haven't thought about, okay, so if I do want to sell it, how much do I want for it? Or whatever the case may be, especially if it's like a 1-of-1 or like a tougher card where you don't have a comp for it. You're like, would I sell it? Sure. But I don't even know necessarily what I would want to sell it for. I'm not committed to having to sell it right this minute. So if there's no urgency, somebody can ask, but then you might not have a number for them. It might not even be that you wouldn't sell it. It's, I don't got a number for you and I'm not going to spend a lot of time thinking about it. I got other stuff going on. Maybe you come back to me later. You ask me again. We come up with a number.
So I see Phil there. He mentions he got a high gloss and he said, big overpay, but got it.
Yeah.
Truth be told, most of the Robertsons, not the ones I just showed in the one touches, but some of the early ones were big overpays.
Well, I gotta be honest, I'm sitting here listening to you guys talk about, this subject and Phil's in the comments kind of talking about the subject and you've all made fun of me that my collection sucks and the Bruins suck and no one wants any of my stuff. And I've always said that's not true. Well, if you look at my Instagram account and you take away all the mountain biking videos and you take away all the pictures with me and athletes, there's still quite a bit of card content and no one has ever asked me to sell them anything. So I'm starting to think maybe my collection does suck. No one has ever
We've
said,
been telling you this the entire time.
No one has ever said, hey, that thing's fantastic. How much do you want for it? Would you be interested in selling it? No one's ever asked like that.
Eric, in all seriousness,
I don't know. No, it's like, I don't want your shit.
You're starting to sound like I was a couple weeks ago when nobody would comment on my Michael Taylor collection. Like,
Have we been able to browbeat people into commenting on the Michael Taylor collection? Let's go.
no,
Oh,
still sad. But
Eric, I tried.
I have
Eric, have
found that
I
there
not
are
tried to
people
shame
out
people into
there.
this?
I found that there are other people out there that collect them. And some people got some stuff that I might actually have to message, seeing if I can weasel out of them. So
Sure.
this topic might work in my favor. Like, yeah, all the people said it was good to do. So I was just messaging how much you want. You know, I got a guy. Yeah.
You got a guy. That's right. Yeah.
I mean,
Boss is making fun of you, the Bruins.
I got 424 posts. Now, Carlos obviously has a lot more, right? But not all of these are me and celebrities or me mountain biking. There's quite a bit on
Well,
here.
definitely not you and celebrities. It's mostly you and janitors. We've already talked about the Peter Forsberg incident.
Me and janitors and stuff, but there's also a lot of card content and stuff in here. I'm looking through it. I think these are pretty good, but no one's ever said, "Hey, I'd be interested in buying." Hey.
Maybe Eric Instagram is the wrong medium for you. Brandon, I got it. I think Eric should print out all of his Instagram posts and then do a YouTube video where he flips through them, and that will make him eligible for the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. Brandon, not even showing cards, showing pictures of Instagram posts of cards.
Yeah.
I mean, or he could just go to the single box and get them all.
No, my idea is way more fun.
Yeah.
And it also makes him spend money on a bunch of printouts.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for all.
I mean, I think I got a lot of nice stuff I got here on the old Instagrams, and no one's ever said, "Hey, that's fantastic. Can I buy that for you?" No, they don't care. I think
so. Phil says Eric collects hockey cards? ? No, he collects Boston Bruins. They don't play hockey.
Social media.
Yeah. So to answer Phil's question, no, he collects Boston Bruins. They do not play hockey.
I collect other things, but mostly Boston Bruins. I got it. How about a Richard Petty? Autograph Richard Petty?
He does have an autograph Richard Petty.
I bet you guys don't have an autograph Richard Petty. It's one of my favorite cards. I think that's just awesome. The King.
Indeed. No idea. I just thought he was the third wheel buddy guy. Well, he's a man we lock in a room in a rolling truck in Manila. So if that is third wheel buddy guy, sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. Third wheel buddy guy seems a bit strong. I don't even know if he's quite a pal, Brandon. It takes a lot to be a pal. It's another level.
Yeah.
Bob says, could be worse. Could be a Whalers collector. True. Eric doesn't collect hockey cards. Dan from Saugus collects hockey cards. That's right.
Oh, God.
Dan from Saugus.
You're dealing with that clown in a week.
Well, you're going to have to fight. You might want to make good with Dan from Saugus. You might need some backup when you're fighting all the Shriners.
We still need that race.
That's what I'm saying. It's working out pretty good. So can I quickly divert on, by the way, chat, we're hanging out for a bit. You're welcome to bring up anything if you like. I will actually show, I did make a pickup. I don't know if you guys have any pickups or not. I did want to quickly touch on it. Yeah, but if you don't have anything, if you got a couple, we can share those. I did have a pickup that's thematically appropriate to this evening. So I figure I can share those briefly. Let me grab this one as well. I did grab one more just before the live stream too. So I'll add that to the other one. So I'll tell you what, Eric, if you got a couple pickups, do you want to share those first, and then I'll share these ones? I got some images I'll pull up.
One of the things I like to do is collect, Bruins rookie cards, and here's some oldies and some goodies here. Like here's Leo Labine, rookie. This is David Crichton. Here's Guy Gendron. He played for the Bruins. Larry Hillman, another rookie card. And then the one that I picked up today, it's just really, really nice looking. And not a Bruin, never a Bruin, anti-Bruin, 62-63 Parkhurst, Jean Beliveau. that came home with me today. So this thing's really nice. There's not a mark on it, not a crease. Everything is just really, really good. So I think this is probably the earliest Bellevue I have now. I have some from the 70s, towards the end of his career. I think I have a 68, 69, 70, because 70 was his last card, I think. So I have those and a bunch of inserts and all-stars and things like that. But 62, 63 Parkhurst Bellevue. I think that's the earliest Bellevue I have now. And the thing's just gorgeous. So I'm very happy to get that today.
There you go. So I've got a handful. I've got a couple there, Brandon. I don't know if you had anything. Are we still kind of on standby there with some stuff you're waiting on? You're muted right now. Just to let you know.
I'm pulling up some COMC images because that's been where I've been buying everything recently. And I know the last few weeks I've said I don't have any because I just haven't had stuff shipped home and everything. But I'm picking up. I'm going to do some screenshots.
Yeah, do those. And then while you're doing that, I'll show a couple here. I'll also answer kind of a couple of questions here. So Louis says, yep, let's get those out of the way. That's right. We did so. And then Name here, good evening. So whether we do deliver reserve a live stream on a Monday, episode 150 combined with 5 years and 1 day of live streams. That's why. Noted Boston Bruin, Jean Bellevue. That's right. Noted.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a couple here. First one was actually from earlier today. We already mentioned the new Ultimate Collection, where that Shield card came from. New as in 24-25, but you get the general idea, newish. It's the current, I guess, the version they've got available. So the first one here is actually from that collection. So we got the autograph. So the short print autograph Medano is there. Got that on that one. So that's nice. Short print on card auto, solid, pretty good. I always try to grab those where I can. I like those. They're not expensive. You can usually get them fairly inexpensively, especially for the veteran players. So usually I'll look for those. They do slightly short print the Medanos, but they're not rare by any stretch of the imagination. That's why they're very affordable. So he's got the nice on-card auto on there. So I've got that one. And then the second one was a thematically appropriate. I thought I would grab a Vladdy to add to the collection. And I was able to grab this one. What's funny though, is I went back and forth with the seller and I was making an offer on it. So this is a museum collection Guerrero. So two things. Number one, and one thing that I like, is that they actually included the little sticker on there. We've talked about this one, Eric. The sticker on there actually links back to specific time where the game used is coming from. So they you can punch in the code and get like specific information about it. So that little sticker on there has got a code on it. Not a big deal, but it's something, and I'm glad they label it game use memorabilia on the front, but you can actually punch in the code and it corresponds to Vladdy Jr. So great. So this one's out of 15. Now, again, not too crazy expensive. It was a nice card, but it was funny because when I went back and forth with the seller and we did I did an offer, they countered, I countered their counter, and then they came back to me. And when they came back to me overall, what they said is like, well, maybe ALCS, maybe ALCS MVP, because obviously the timing and everything, everybody's trying to take advantage of it. But I'm sitting there going like, you're not going to get that much crazy amount for it. Like, settle down, sir. But in the end, we worked it out. It was a solid number. So I was happy with it, and it wasn't crazy expensive. So I'm happy to hang on to it. Eric's been a Montreal Canadian fan since day one. Facts.
I hate him.
Facts.
He knows what he did. He knows two things. He knows that I hate the Canadians more than anything, and he knows what else he did. He knows what else he did in that there, and I hate him, and I want the whole world to know that I hate him, and I'm never going to stop hating him.
Wow. I feel a lot of hate from you.
I don't like him.
So that's what I'm getting from this, Brandon. I'm sensing a lot of hate. A lot of hate in this man.
Yeah. We're supposed to be more mature, more polite.
Not to him.
Man,
not to him. Not to him.
We are truly not feeling the man of peacedom here coming from you, Eric.
Not to him.
Not.
No. He's a big stupid kid, and I hate him.
All right, so Brandon has given me some images here. So now I've got the little gallery queued up here. Give me 1 sec. I'll share it.
Yeah, I realize I have almost 100 stacked up there, so I only sent a few.
There you go. That's fine. Pretty good set of cards. So nice mix here. Congrats on the accomplishment. Definitely YouTube Hall of Fame worthy, and Eric being Hall of Fame adjacent. You never know. This might be the year. We'll see. We'll have to bring it in our favor, maybe. Do a little bit of corruption. We'll grease some palms.
I'm not against that.
Here, I'll share. So first one here, we got a little Walking Dead. If you want to talk it through us, Brandon.
So that's a short print, Ray Bork, signed by
Nice.
Greg Nicotero.
Not
Amazing.
funny.
I enjoyed Walking Dead and collecting the cards, and I had a Robert Kirkman that I got from a different set. So added the Nicotero on there.
Yep, just one sec. Okay, go ahead.
And then I don't normally like picking up guys that are in
I'm having a stroke.
the uniforms. Well, yeah, it's a bad picture of it. I don't like. I like them in the uniform of the team that I enjoy watching. But Miko, most of his stuff obviously is Colorado. So picked up the hot numbers, and then also underneath of it got the double helix, which me and Carlos both have had conversations about the difficulty of pulling the double helix.
That's true. Yep. Here you go.
And then underneath that, you got to have a Michael Taylor, since we talked about the Michael Taylor collection. This is actually
we got to show Michael Taylor's until morale improves or until comments are given.
Yep, this is one I did not have. It is, as you can see, out of 10, the Allen and Ginter Silk Mini Rookie. So another low printed one to add. This is also pretty, I guess you would say, difficult. This is the EX Central Credentials. Tyler Sagan. I pick up some of his stuff because he goes a little bit further back with Dallas, and he has some cool inserts and everything. And he used to be a Boston Bruin.
That's right.
So have that benefit.
Stanley Cup winner, 2011.
And then this here, I know it's from MVP, but it was a Jake Ottinger numbered out of 10, and it was $6. So figured it looked kind of cool. I know he probably won't ever win the Hart Trophy, but looked cool. Low, serial numbered, $6. Couldn't beat it. So.
Well, I think out of 10, it's pretty solid. Even with the MVP thing, like out of 10 numbered, serial numbered on there.
I like the design of it too. How it had him, and then like the like shadow in the background of. So
nice. That's pretty good. So that's a pretty good set of pickups. I'm impressed. Well played. Well played. So that's pretty good stuff. So we quickly scroll through here. Paul says he hates the Canadians so much he collects the card. We talked about that. Gets their autos. It's true. Bamboozle. What does it take for Eric to hate you? Breathe. Paul says, not much. He doesn't realize hating people doesn't mean put them on a pedestal. He is confused. He's had a lot of concussions. Go ahead, Eric. Read that one. Indeed. Now you know.
Eric is a multi-Hart Trophy winner.
Oh, solve the Hart trophies. Non-stop Hart trophies.
That's real nice. You know my mother's watching, right? Yeah, that's nice.
Brandon, did I say anything?
She lives in your home. She's seen your trophy case. What?
She's seen the DVD cases of Manual in Space. She knows.
Keep it up.
She knows what happened. Listen, she knows that the pool noodles you carry in your room have nothing to do with sticks. Well, maybe with sticks, but not those sticks. Not the kind you break.
The pool noodles should go on the hockey sticks that you bang against the metal shelving.
Well, that's the problem. Eric never figured out the pool noodle was for the hockey stick, but he still has a ton of pool noodles. And the whole lubrication thing with the pool noodles, that combo, we got questions beyond questions. More to come on that on Friday, but we got questions. Just throw it out there. She knows where your magazine collection from 1994 is. Maybe. Maybe she does. So a lot of questions, future answers. So we've got that. Quick aside, since it was coming up, obviously I've got the ALCS game on the side. I'm just kind of watching and monitoring it a little bit. Brandon, I didn't get a chance to actually watch this until earlier. And by the way, chat, we can talk about any couple of things, so feel free to throw some stuff in. I wanted to make sure we got the pickups in. I wanted to make sure we got the silly card of the weekend. We did those things, so we managed. I was watching, so obviously, everybody was slobbering over themselves over Ohtani. He won the NLCS MVP, and obviously the Dodgers are waiting for whoever wins this game, goes to play the Dodgers. And based on betting odds, basically whoever wins this is, winning the right to get slaughtered by the Dodgers in the next round. That's basically what's expected. But I got to tell you, I wasn't paying close attention to the NLCS at all. But I must ask, are people stupid?
Yes, we have actually.
Rule number one. I know. It was a rhetorical question.
Oh,
The thing is that I'm sitting there going like, oh my God, he had the most incredible performance. It's like, number one, the Milwaukee Brewers had already rolled over and died. Like they were getting destroyed. So they were going to lose at this point regardless. That's the first thing. Second thing, I was curious because I prefer to actually watch what happens in order to gauge how I feel about it. On paper, I'm looking 3 home runs, some towering shots. He pitches, gets 10 strikeouts and everything. But at the same time, I'm sitting there, this is the same team that literally is playing the Washington Generals to their Harlem Globetrotters and getting demolished. They're getting demolished by all the pitchers. So as a pitcher, like, okay, whatever. So fine. Next, we go from there. And I watched the home runs, and they're impressive. But I was sitting there going like, the first home run was a 79 mile an hour off speed pitch, center low, to a left-handed batter.
So
that's batting practice.
My question was, that was an elimination game.
It was.
If he was already 2 for 2 with 2 home runs, why were you still pitching to his ass in an elimination game?
So Brandon, I'm going to finish talking about the other 2 home runs, and then I'm going to literally come back to that exact point. I'm sitting there going like, the first pitch was 79 miles an hour, low and inside. That's batting practice for a left-handed hitter with power, which he has power, lots of power. So you basically feed it to him right in that spot. Okay, fine. Second pitch, 89 miles an hour. It's a little bit more inside, but it's still low and in, exactly where a left-handed hitter.
He loves that spot.
Yeah, like it's exactly. If you've got a scouting report, if you have a pitching coach whose job it is to go, where does the guy like to hit it? This is where the guy likes to hit it. Why don't we just throw it there? Out of all the, Greg Maddux literally lived an entire career facing power hitters during the steroid era, not throwing it where they wanted it.
Yeah, don't put it there.
So I'll get to that again. I'll come back then in a second. Third pitch, 99 miles an hour. This time we're doing the fastball now. That one was center cut. That was dead center with no movement. It couldn't have been any straighter. Again, it's 99 miles an hour. Not every, I can't take a person off the street and ask them to hit that. I understand this. Shohei Ohtani is a professional. He's a professional hitter. He's a professional hitter with power. He can eat that for lunch. So can a lot of other, if I go get Ken Griffey Jr. from 1995, he'll send that into the 50th row. Frank Thomas will demolish the hell out of that shit. Albert Bell will send it into space.
Mike Trout might strike out.
Ooh,
Probably, but he sucks. The point that I'm getting at is that any power hitter worth their salt would love, if you feed him a 99 mile an hour fastball, dead center with no movement, yes, please, and thank you. So to be clear, he did his job. He smashed those balls. He did exactly what he needed to do. It was impressive. But to your point, it is an elimination game. And if he likes it, just take the bat out of his hands. Literally send him to first base and beyond. He shouldn't have hit any home runs. This shouldn't have even come up. Like, what are we even doing? So the pitchers are morons. And the Brewers deserve to get eliminated because they're morons. So I understand why people were super impressed. But to be clear, outside of game 4, he was hitting like shit, but he became the NL MVP because of one game. All his stats were accumulated in the one game.
That's why I said if you knew that he was already 2 for 2 with 2 home runs, why did you continue, allow him to get to the 3? Now, 2 still, that's still impressive, but I would that was my immediate thought. You've already thrown, 2, and he's knocked him out. Why are you continuing? Like, from that point on in an elimination game, you should have set it up. If he's coming up, there's nobody on, just put his ass on base. Like, go for the double play, If there's nobody on, walk him, try to induce the double play, you know. But nope, they threw to him. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was weird to me because like I said, I understood why they were throwing that out there and why some people got very excited about it. But I'm sitting there going like, this is just bad pitching. Like it's just bad pitching. And again, Otani's job at that point is to crush it. Like if you're making mistakes like that, he should crush it. He's doing what he should be doing. But I don't understand why the concept of throwing around. Did we forget about the basic art of throwing around these hitters? It's with throwing around, all it means is keep on the outside, stay away from their power zone. Do not throw him low and inside, which is exactly what he wants you to do. At least make him go outside his normal zone. If he still crushes it, so be it. Worst case scenario, you walk him, Brandon. At least throw it outside the zone. If you want to chase something outside the zone and you still hit it, bless you. Nothing you can do at that point. And you know what? You are that good, so be it. But those 3 pitches that I watched him crush, they were meatballs for a guy of even decent power caliber. Anybody worth their salt would have crushed those balls.
I don't want to like have the conspiracy stuff, but it actually makes you wonder, knowing that he was pitching that game, if there wasn't a little juice in some of those balls. But you don't know. It could have just been, like you said, the pitches were there. What did you expect him to do? But
I would just like to have seen the pitchers come in with a better game plan. Like remember in the regular season, he had 55 home runs, massive, great. But it's not like he hit 800. He had struck out a ton of times during the postseason. So clearly there is a book on how to pitch the guy to at least give yourself a chance to get him out. Because almost everybody was getting him out in the NLCS. As bad as the Brewers were doing, they were literally getting him out every single game. Games 1 through 3, they didn't seem to have any issue getting the guy out. And then in the elimination game, you're like, yeah, let's just pitch him. So that's my thought was when I was watching it, the reason I fixated on location and talked about all that was because when I was watching it, I was literally like, I watch people on social media lose their minds, but I'm sitting there like, go back and watch, Josh Hamilton's performance in the All-Star game during the home run derby, where he was crushing ball after ball after ball in Yankee Stadium. Go back and watch that. Here's a question. Josh Hamilton had a lot of power, and at that moment, he was at the peak of his powers. Why was Josh Hamilton hitting 1 million home runs? And in the regular season, these guys are all hitting 100 home runs, Brandon. You're seeing these power hitters, putting on these power displays. So if they can hit all these home runs all the time, why aren't they hitting 80 home runs a year? Because in the regular season, the pitchers are actually trying to get them out. In the home run derby, they're throwing the meatballs on purpose they're throwing batting practice. The point is for them to hit home runs. It's a show.
Yeah, in the previous 3 games, he only had 2 hits. Now,
that's what I'm getting at.
Game 1, which was the closest game, 2-1, he was 0 for 2 with 3 walks. So, and they only lost by 1 run. So, yeah. I don't know. I was surprised that the Brewers didn't even they at one point during the year were up there as one of the top teams. In fact, didn't they come into the playoffs as the 1 seed, or did they drop that? Yeah, they came into the playoffs as the 1 seed in the National League.
They were, yeah, the Brewers, yeah.
And just to get absolutely dominated, like, what the hell happened? So
they were playing over their head. I don't think I didn't watch enough of the NLCS. I don't know what happened with that. I think my overarching point though, like I said, I have more love for Ohtani than I do for old fish boy for reasons that we've talked about in the past. So I don't have as much. My problem is that I was watching people literally fall over themselves to fawn over his performance. Brandon, in 3 out of 4 games, he was shit.
Yeah.
And he was and then he became the NLCS MVP. I'm sitting there like, no, I don't care if he hit 12 home runs in game 4. You sucked 3 of the 4 games. You're disqualified. I needed you to do something in game 1 through 3. Yeah, I needed you to do something in game 1 through 3. I'm not joking. I don't care if you had a perfect game and hit 6 home runs in game 4. I'm counting the other 3 games. They're part of the series too, because you need to win 4 games. In 3 games, you were useless. Where were you in games 1 through 3? I think
Game
one of the other
two,
guys should have got it.
game two, he was 1 for 5, 3
Yeah.
strikeouts, 1 RBI.
Yep.
Game three, 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts, 1 run.
Yeah.
And
It's
now
just
his
weird.
one hit
Like,
was a triple. So
yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. For me, it's just a little odd. Like I understood the narrative and I understood it. I understood that that game it was in itself a moment. I'm not
Mhm.
discounting that. Legendary game performances are notable. They're worthy. But even like when that happens, if you're going to make somebody the MVP of a series, I feel like you should have contributed during a little bit during the totality of a series, not just one game where you went off. It's just bizarre to me that you ended up with that. But again, I guess look, just add it to Otani's trophy case. I guess I don't know.
Well,
At this point, like
he'll
if he
have the Hart
breathes the right
trophies
way,
before long. I mean,
yeah,
I think at this point they may as well give him the Hart Trophy. Why not? Like they feel like giving him everything else. Like what the hell? So I don't know. Like Eric, just to put the hockey analogy on it, we got the Conn Smythe Trophy for the playoff MVP. Obviously, that's for the whole playoff. But imagine for the playoffs, a guy is being carried by his team for 3 rounds
yep,
and for most of the Stanley Cup Finals. But in the clinching game, he scores 8 goals or something.
yep.
Amazing, sensational, glorious. Do we hand him the Conn Smythe for that?
I would not, however, if he also played goalie and scored 8 goals in that clinching game, then I would say yes. And that's kind of what you saw. The guy had 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs in the same game.
He did, but he
So-
also did it against a team they had beaten 3 other times without him contributing at all. If he had dropped dead, they still would have won game 4.
It was one of the most amazing sports feats that have happened in a very, very long time. And people really should appreciate it. And
Wait, is Eric appreciating the baseball? Brandon, hold on.
No,
I'm listening. Go on. I'm listening.
I'm appreciating an athletic feat that will not be repeated, possibly in our lifetime. So it was that to strike out 10 and to hit 3. What do you think the odds are that you will see that again in your lifetime?
I had to switch hats because our baseball expert was talking.
So yes, I think that alone, and that was the decisive game, correct?
It was.
I mean, that was an MVP performance that we will never see again.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Because I feel like if they won a three-peat, they could throw him batting practice next year. I think he should hit 6 home runs next year. Since we're fixing the game, why not? Just throw him 6 meatballs. I think the batters should swing at every pitch before he even reaches the plate. That way he can have 27 strikeouts to go along with his 6 home runs. Then it'd be really impressive.
they have to Barry Bonds this guy, and the fact that they kept pitching to him and he hit 3 dingers is, like you said, is the dumbest freaking thing I've ever seen. I mean, I've literally watched when Bonds was at his absolute steroid-fueled peak, bases loaded, he's at bat, and they walk him on purpose and walk in a run.
They did.
So he doesn't hit a grand slam.
Mm-hmm.
They need to treat Otani the exact same way. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Walk the man.
I think the MLB is too afraid to do that because, and maybe this is just something because it's been more and more and more recent. We're getting a lot of the the MPL players coming over, transitioning into the major leagues, but it almost feels like with Otani in the league, and then the name slips me, but the dude, the closer, the one that closed out the game for the Dodgers, but he's also Asian, and it feels like there is this big push for the Asian players now in Major League Baseball. And I mean, I can't, I guess, blame them. It's kind of like the PSA conversation with upcharges. If it's going to bring more money or more interest to the league, they're going to continue doing so. And it's just interesting because you have a lot of talent from other foreign countries. You know, obviously there's a lot of the Dominicans and stuff that are very talented, but I don't think that they bring as much, I guess, money to the league. And so they need to, you know, keep pushing these guys out, keep making them great, keep, you know, face of anytime they can, putting their face out there, because to gain that market. And look, they had the first game of the year, wasn't it Seattle and was it Seattle and LA or Seattle and San Diego?
I'm
Might
not
have been
sure. I
Seattle
know
and
they had
San
an
Diego
international game.
played
I know
over
they
in
had an
Japan
international
and
game.
stuff.
Yeah.
To start the season off. So obviously they're wanting to grasp that market. And you know, I guess I can't blame them if it's going to bring money to it, but it's just interesting. And you know, not again, not to put on the tinfoil or whatever, but as Bob said, you know, about 15 minutes ago, the MLB needs the Otani legend to grow, and who's to say that they aren't doing things to make sure that happens?
Ooh,
Well, you can't trust. Listen, we know number one, you cannot trust Major League Baseball. They were very well aware what was going on in the past. They were raking in the dough, even though these guys were cheating, destroying their health, uh, you know, conning the fans. They didn't care. They were making money hand over fist after that lockout that almost killed the league, right? Professional cycling, exact same thing.
Well, that's what Boozle's talking about. Can't you tell?
Yeah, the same thing. Cycling is just as guilty as baseball. Lance Armstrong brought eyes to cycling that were never ever going to watch cycling, and for 7 years, the average American citizen knew cycling existed, and it was all a crock of shit. So we know that these organizations, whether it be the UCI, whether it be Major League Baseball, they're not beyond corruption to get butts in seats, eyes on TV, and money in their pockets. So to say it's impossible that Major League Baseball is fixing games or pushing players to, you know, to be the face and don't say it's impossible. We have watched these organizations cheat, rob, steal from fans, put players' health at risk, and not care because the pockets were lined. And as soon as the money was gone, then they turned on the players and the athletes. Lance Armstrong was great until he stopped winning. And then it was, well, we don't need him anymore. Throw him under the bus.
Well, that was basically what I heard from Eric, is all I'm saying. But
And
quick side note.
Thrown under the bus. I'm not a defender of Lance Armstrong. The guy's a complete scumbag.
I don't know. We'll see what AI Eric says about this. So the point though is, so Brandon, just to be clear, I am, as a person who is a purveyor, the patron saint of shadiness. Shadiness is my birthright. I'm fine with shadiness. Y'all want to fix some shit? Go for it. But Brandon, the problem is when I can literally watch the replay and it's so pathetically obvious that you don't know how to pitch and you literally put it in, again, make him at least work for it. All I'm asking, I don't feel like I'm asking too much. All I'm asking is if you show me that you're hitting, the guy throws a high fastball that's high and the guy goes up and climbs the ladder and reaches for it and muscles it out, respect.
Congrats.
If the guy is putting it right on against the ground and literally putting a breaking ball that's about to hit the dirt and the guy drives it into the fifth row, respect. You know what? You earn that shit. But do not give me a meatball down. Barry Bonds is spitting in his grave and he's still alive. He's sitting there and like, I would kill for pitches like that because they were pitching around the guy.
Fastball. Okay, maybe it was just mislocated, But when you said that there was an 89 miler low and inside, like
It was an
you
off-speed pitch, low and inside.
you don't even have to like be a baseball connoisseur to just watch a little bit and know that most of these left-handed batters, their power zone is right there, especially if they're a home run hitter.
Well,
As soon
the
as he
worst one,
seen that, he was probably already figuring out how he's going to flip the bat. I mean,
the worst one,
like,
the worst one, Brandon, was the first one. The first one was, so the 89 was actually a little bit more inside. It was actually off the plate. It was actually inside. But he was able to get, but there was plenty of room. Like the way his batting stance is, he had plenty of room to get to that ball. But still very impressive. Like it was off the plate. So it was a ball that he actually hit. So I actually think that was probably the best one that was a pitch off the plate. The guy was trying to locate it a little bit. It was still not a good location for, because it leans right into his power. I don't like that.
mhm.
But
And he
I
has such a
agree.
simple swing. His
But I
mechanics are so
agree.
simple he can adjust to that.
Exactly. So, but I agree. But at least it was a ball. The guy at least hit a ball. The first one was worse. The first one was 79 miles an hour. It was right in the corner. It was a strike. It was over the plate. And Brandon, 79 miles an hour. I hit balls harder than that in Little League. And I was a
gonna say,
left-handed bit.
my arm isn't what it used to be, but I might still be able to throw that.
Yeah. And the problem is you threw it low and inside, and I was a
Shut up,
left-handed
Eric.
batter. And that's all I want. You give me that when I was 13 and I crush it. Because it's perfect. It's right where your hands just get to drop and you get to basically uppercut the damn ball. It's beautiful. It's exactly what, especially if you're a pull hitter, a pull dominant hitter, you could not ask for a better location for a guy like that. And take a guy with Otani's power, with his bat speed, with his capability, and a swing that can go straight to that. You're basically so right here. I want to make sure I get this right here. Let me see if I can scroll through here. Next time, let him put it on a tee. They basically did. That's the part that offends me. Brandon, I'm okay with it. If he hits a bad pitch out of the ballpark, respect. I'm completely okay with that. But guys, don't make it that easy. Give me a break. Give me a little bit of a break here because you're killing me. Bobbles will say, I remember when Stephen A. Smith said Otani couldn't be the face of the league because he didn't speak English. Well, he's had a lot of bad takes. That is definitely a bad take. But yeah, no, the marketing part, I have no issue with.
Because
Zero problem with the marketing.
because he already is.
Yeah, he's there now for sure. But the thing is, the marketing part, I think, is great. You know, I mean, in hockey, we can critique that they should market some of these guys better. But the point is, like, the marketing, no issue, no notes, do it. I'm 100% in favor of it. And I'm not denying his talent because I just said a moment ago he has tons of talent. I'm saying don't make it easier for him. He already has talent. At least make him work for it, though.
Especially not in an elimination game.
Yeah, like make it a little harder. Let's use our common sense here. Like if you've got a batter who is, dangerous, then treat him as such. Your approach must match the situation and the person. If a batter is the dangerous one on the lineup, well, then you're not going to pitch him the same way as the guy who can't hit the ball out of the ballpark on his best day with a bouncy ball. You're not going to pitch him the same way because you have to understand they're two different players. So the Jays, for the most part, in this series, have pitched Cal Raleigh fairly well, but that's because they have gone out of their way to make sure don't let him beat us. Make sure we do everything in our power. So they have the pitching coach has literally sat there with the guys looking at film going like, this is what he likes. The man hit 60 home runs this season. So they're like, let's figure out what he likes to do and don't throw it there.
I'll tell you a guy that I'm impressed with, watching the ALCS, and that's the Blue Jays.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Victor Robles. The fix is it.
No, I was going to say Ernie Clement.
Sure.
That dude,
sure, yeah.
He's one that, like, you can throw it out of the way and he'll still reach out there and make contact and just flip it over to the outfield. They said before he came to the Blue Jays, he was batting somewhere like around 200. And then since he came with you guys, and especially in the playoffs, I mean, he's batting 436.
Yeah, he's killing.
Like he was nothing, and then somehow he's flipped a switch, but he's up there so simple. He doesn't try to hit homers. He's just making contact, putting the ball in play, and it's finding the grass. So it's been fun to watch that guy.
Well, that's actually what made the first two games of this series frustrating for the Toronto fans to watch, because for the first two games, they took a terrible approach. I'm talking about approach from a second ago. They were swinging at first pitches when they had no business swinging at them. I'm like, no, make the pitcher work a little bit. You know, this team does its best work when they take pitches, work counts, and basically force the pitcher to labor a little bit. If they make a mistake, you punish it. They're not trying to hit home runs on every swing. Sometimes they just put the ball in play, run, move the runner over. Basically, that's what the strategy was. First two games, they didn't employ that strategy. Shock of shocks, they lost some games that they had an opportunity to win. And here we are, game 7, one more win, and the series would already be over. Missed opportunities. And for the most part, and then they follow that up with 2 games in Seattle where they beat the hell out of the ball and we're punishing the pitchers. And all of a sudden they're like, where were these guys in game 1 and game 2? Because they were here. They did it against the Yankees for 2 games to start off the series and put them on their heels. So clearly they are capable of doing this. So where does it come and go? That's the frustrating part.
What's the score now? Aren't they playing right now?
Yep, it's 2-1 Seattle right now in the 4th.
There you go.
Lance Armstrong is to cycling, as Jamaica is to bobsledding. We've had multiple Jamaican bobsled team references here. The Jamaican bobsled team still have an autograph booth at the airport. They signed its shirt and a photo for me. Love it, Stu. Next time, let them put on tea. That's right. Sports Card Mafia must have threatened the pitcher before the game. That's right. If you don't give me easy pitches, I kick your butt, fool. Sounds like Eric.
That's right.
I saw something lately where the YouTube person said said why it was both the Guardian pictures were suspended. Pitchers were suspended with pay, but Ohtani's gambling situation, he never got suspended, so they need him for MLB. Listen, I happen to not believe for 1 second that Ohtani would ever do it. And Brandon, I swear, I want footage of Ohtani like at the casino going, "Let it ride."
Yeah.
Hey, he does know English. I knew it.
Maybe
need an
that's
interpreter.
what happened. He bet on himself
He does
in
know
that game, and so he had to put the performance on.
Yep. So I got questions. So here, Keith, the Lonely Basement, is saying he popped out. Speaking of Clement. Yeah, nobody's saying he's great. He hit 400, not 1,000. But they've had some good at bats. I think in this game right now, it's interesting because I was genuinely curious. So on Friday, I talked about the whole thing about kind of just enjoying this playoff year and everything because it's not a given. It's not automatic. Here's what's funny. This is only the second Game 7 ALCS the Blue Jays have ever played in franchise history. And this is actually the furthest they've gotten in an ALCS in terms of number of a game, because the previous 2 trips to the ALCS they've had in recent memory. I'm talking about after the 90s teams. So after the 2 World Series years. The other 2 ALCS appearances they were in, they never won more than 2 games. So this is the first series they're ever going to they've ever had an opportunity to actually eliminate a team to get to the World Series. So win, lose, or draw, this is the furthest they've come since 93. Because they've been to ALCS, but they didn't have a chance to be in an elimination game where they could eliminate the other team. So we'll see. I don't know. Speaking of my phone, it picks up or spells whatever it feels like. All good, man. All good. Gonna contact Ohtani through ATM to convince him to throw some games. Do it, man. Do it. Through TTM. That's right. Make it happen, Bobbles. Listen, I think Ohtani should throw some games just to make it interesting, Brandon. Otherwise, it'd be really boring if in the World Series, like, yeah, so what happened? The Dodgers in 3.
We could get kanji signatures with the inscription, "I'm sorry I bet on baseball."
That'd be good.
Where have I seen that before?
But I mean, he was the greatest hitter in baseball. So now we got this guy that they're saying is the greatest player ever. We can just get it in kanji now.
That's right. I think it's exciting. I like it. So here, I heard Jeff Wilson, Jeff, threatened Ohtani with a name banter if he didn't hit a home run soon, and Ohtani hates wasted breath. That'll teach him.
Speaking of, I had a thought earlier today, and I doubt any of us would know this, but he's the sports card investor, and we've seen so many shit buy takes that he's made. How much does he have invested in Ohtani? Because that would have been a good place to park some of that money that was spent on name a player that he bought. But then again, he did think Bo Bichette was on the Dodgers, so maybe baseball's not his best. Never mind. I answered my
I don't think we have a
question.
sport or non-sport that he's good at, so I think we'll leave it at that.
We're still talking about him. He's the GOAT.
We're asking questions.
Go.
There's
We're
different-
asking
Go.
all the questions. All the questions.
Go.
So here, Jeff's got a question here. What was the other ALCS year besides 2016? 2015. They were in the ALCS back-to-back years. 2015 was actually the team that actually may have been able to make a little noise. They were in 2015 and 2016. And both of those ended in 6. Let's see here. What do you think about backloading Ohtani's contract to sign more players? To circumventing a luxury tax base is screwing over all the other teams. So that's one of the
the
challenges. Yeah, that's one of the challenges that a lot of people have, because it's one thing. So baseball allowed this because they allowed a lot of flexibility and contract flexibility. We'll put that in quotation marks. The Dodgers already have tons of money. So it's not that they don't have money. They have tons. The luxury tax, they're going to pay luxury tax anyway. So they clearly have the ability to do that. Why not? But I think what it comes down to is that you already have this tons of money. You can sign anybody you like. You're willing to pay the luxury tax. Clearly, that's not a deterrent for you. But then on top of everything else, you can create this silly deferred contract so that Ohtani can walk away with more money. No, fuck you. Like, just pay the guy for the period of time. I think it's 700 million or whatever it is. Just pay him his damn 700 million and be done with it. And pay your goddamn taxes, Ohtani. Where's IRS when you need him, Eric? We need IRS out here.
He's taking that to the casino.
Oh, totally.
He's turning it into 1.4 billion.
Yeah, like it's going to be billions. But look, by the time Ohtani's done, he's going to own the Dodgers. He's just going to own everything.
Good for
He's
him.
going to own it all.
Good for
Bernie
him.
Madoff. Ooh, look at Stu. That's strong words. Strong. I'm not reading them. I'm leaving them for Eric. That's strong.
That doesn't sound very nice.
So that's mean words about your goat, Eric.
That doesn't
Mean words. Woo. Strong words. Inviting Ohtani to join me and Kawhi Leonard to plant trees around Los Angeles. I appreciate that reference. It's all legit if you can get away with it. Laura here says Bobby Bonilla is still smiling to this day. Now the Bobby Bonilla one, that's just fun. I appreciate the Bobby Bonilla contract. We appreciate it as a people. But the Ohtani thing, Brandon, that's just dirty. It's dirty. Bobby Bonilla Day is a celebration. Bobby Bonilla is a national treasure. That's different.
Well, and you also have Rick DiPietro Day, also a New York player.
And I think, I could be wrong, I think Griffey had deferred money too. Like at the end of his career, I think he had some deferred money.
There's a lot. I know, I think Scherzer's getting paid by like 3 different teams.
Yeah. See, the pitchers, Brandon, are not listening to me. They went away from what I said earlier about not pitching to Cal Raleigh.
Oh,
Yep. I'm gonna check the replay, but I think he left it right over the middle of the plate, which is exactly what you don't want to do.
You know,
And there was nobody on base. There was no reason to do it. That's what I'm getting angry about, Brandon. I just want to see this replay. Oh, come on. It was 94 over the middle of the plate. That's dumb. This is what Brandon, do you get what I'm saying? These pitchers are morons. Like, why are we doing like it's literally the middle of the plate. Are we forgetting that these guys like he literally there is a scouting report. Eric, I don't need a scouting report to tell me don't throw it down the middle of the plate to a guy who hit 60 home runs. Do I need a scouting report for this?
I wouldn't think so.
That's frustrating.
I agree with you, man.
That's frustrating.
I completely agree with you.
Brandon, I don't need to be an expert in the game to understand that that's a dumb idea.
Dumb
Like,
idea.
It's very basic. But anyway, whatever. Jake Annie says, you don't think Ohtani will wear an owner's jacket like Badger Johnson in 10 years? Psh, he may own the state by then. Own it all. Yep. Idiots. Agree to him. Yeah, Griffey got paid until mid-2024. I thought so. I thought there was some deferred money for Griffey as well. Hey, it's smart. Why not? You still get money years later after the fact, after you're retired? Do it, buddy. Go for it. Again, going back to, I am very consistent on this take, Eric.
Yep.
Get your money.
Get your money.
Get it. Respect. All good. It is up to the league to be like, guys, this is bullshit. The kind of deferred deal that Ohtani got is bullshit. You guys have enough money to pay it. Just pay the damn deal. Just pay the money. You already got every other advantage anyway. You don't need more. Just pay the money. Yeah, why throw that inside over the plate? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, is a dumb idea. The reality is the Jays are still within striking distance, but they're going to have to be a lot smarter than that. It's a 2-run game. So like they're within striking distance still. But they're going to have to generate some offense. What's funny is it goes back to the Friday Live before the series, Brandon. I said, in my opinion, it is going to come down to as far as the offense is going to carry them, because I don't trust the bullpen. I don't trust the pitchers. They've done well, actually, for the most part. They've had some games where they made some errors. They've actually overperformed, in my opinion, but it's up to the offense. The offense is going to have to put up some runs.
Speaking of the pitchers, you
By all means.
rewinding way back to earlier in the show, you
Yep.
were talking about Eric's favorite person, Brad, and
Of course, sure. Sure.
and attending the game 6. Do we have an over/under or estimate on how much money he has spent on Yasavage at this point, since he was pitcher of Game 6?
So funny you mentioned this, Brandon.
Uh-oh.
So as I'm on the up train on the way to Scotiabank Arena to check out the hockeys, I am having a conversation with Brad about never going full Yasavage.
Never.
So Eric, in person,
Yeah.
face to face,
Face to
I was like,
face.
we're not going full Yasavage, right? You know, we're not doing this, right?
Not doing this.
We're staying away.
Uh-huh.
When I left that, Brandon, whatever happens, when I left that man, there was no Yasavage.
But then he attended the Game 6 with Yasavage on the mound, so that's why I meant to ask earlier in the show, but since we've been on a baseball topic here, and
Sure.
you mentioned the pitchers, I was like, back to that. So
Yeah, you know that got his juices flowing.
Well, so I'm going to read you. Normally I wouldn't, but in this case, it is pertinent to this conversation.
Pertinent.
I did send a text message. All I'm going to say is my half of the text message, okay? My half. What I wrote and nothing else. And you can guess who I wrote this to. Did you make it down for the game? Question mark. If so, never go full Yasavage. Hold.
Oh, yeah.
Eric, I've done what I can.
Yeah, you can
I've
only
done
do so.
I've done what I,
Yeah.
Brandon, you can lead him to water. You can't make him drink.
Can't make him drink.
Never go full Yasavage.
Never, ever.
Cautionary tales have been made. Although
the good news is I don't think he has a lot of stuff out there yet, so that's helping.
But Brandon, I will tell you this. I may have gotten a little bit more insight into the original Manoa deal, and it is more hilarious when you know more.
Oh, I don't even want to know more.
It is so good. Brandon, allegedly, I may have seen text message threads. I may have been shown the process at which we wound up in the world of Never Go Full Manoa. Brandon, the story may shock you.
Oh,
I have seen things.
Mm-mm.
Wild. It's wild. So Ham here says, they will never guess. I will throw it down the middle. Oh, look, it's flying away, way away. I appreciate Ham's commentary on this. Valid. He's right. I can't disagree with his words. Zach says, Griffey, 16-year, $57.5 million agreement that paid him from 2009 to 2024. Yeah, I thought it was deferred as well. It's a good. Here's the thing for the retired players. This is a great deal. You're still getting annuities for years. You're still like, if you're not blowing all the money, it's nice to have money still well after you've already retired.
He's
very nice.
I'm actually curious if he's made more with Nike than he did playing baseball, because I mean he's still got the Swingman brand. And
does he? Still? Okay.
Yeah, they still make
That's
the
a good deal.
Swingman cleats and stuff and the
That's a good
shoes, but don't forget he's also at the ballpark all the time taking photographs. He's a photographer now. So he's probably getting paid for his photos.
Nice. I like it. Boozle says, I hate that Otani is doing so well. I'm getting flooded with low ball offers on my cards. Fair enough. Yeah. Keith here says it was a meatball. Yeah. So like I said, win-lose. So just to be clear on this point, and by the way, I'm having fun talking about it. No, happy to, because like I said, I got it on the other screen. But bottom line is win, lose, or draw. My frustration is always going to come down to all I ask is don't do stupid shit. If the other team beats you, then so be it. I just want the other team to beat them because they were better and they were smarter and they pulled off the plays. But if you make it easy for them, then I get really irritated. That's where I get upset. It's not losing, Brandon. I just want you to beat me. If you beat me, I can live with it.
Yeah,
but if
don't beat yourself.
If I put it on a tee for you, literally, it's like that's frustrating. That's where I get upset. Good said. Anybody but the Dodgers. A lot of sentiment for that. Tell Brad I trade him a Todd Van Poppel for 100 Manoas. Might be valid comp. Ham says, I can make him drink. Hold him under till they have to breathe. A man of violence, not a man of peace.
Oh my goodnesses.
I know. It's hard not to appreciate a perfect diamond. I don't like the ring wearer, but the diamond is effing beautiful. Watching the Dodgers roster. There you go. I wish Ham was a major league photographer. He would take great candids of babes in the stands. Probably.
Yeah.
He'd go and get like a 12K camera so he could argue that the player is in the corner of the picture, but he's really just zooming in on the crowd. Just to get him in the corner there. It's like, I think I see part of the player's helmet over there on that side of the screen. The rest of it, questionable. Now, here's a question for you guys. Obviously, right now, I know that I already said the Dodgers are going to be the prohibitive favorite, no matter what happens. So it's going to be interesting. Ham says, photography, my second hobby. I'm in. There you go. But here's the question. So, regardless, whichever one of these teams gets there, these are the two teams that were expansion franchises in 1977. So it's a nice story that one of them is going to go to the World Series regardless. I'm curious which one of these teams would actually put up a better fight against the Dodgers roster. And I just don't know.
Hold on. I'm older than the Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yes, you're goddamn old. Yes.
Oh, good Jesus. I guess I don't know my baseball history, so that was news to me that I'm older than both those teams.
Yes.
That's tough.
It is, isn't it?
I didn't know
Tough
that.
scene. Well, look, you don't see Brandon complaining about it. You know, Major League Baseball isn't as old as he is.
Didn't
Like,
he?
you don't see him complaining.
Didn't he play against Abner Doubleday?
They might have
Coached
been.
him.
They might have met. They might have met.
Coached him.
Yeah, because listen, son, this is how it's done. It was that Cap Anson that was giving Brandon some trouble, though. He goes, no, like this, this.
And the whole Wagner thing, that was all horse shit. He's lying.
That's right. Good evening, Baz. What's up, fellas? Congrats on 150. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Yeah, so we'll hang out for a couple more minutes. Then we'll call it. It's kind of a fun thing here. We're just gonna
What the
hang
hell
out.
was Springer swinging at?
I think his knee is still messed up. I hope Otani goes.
It didn't matter. His knee could have been perfect. You were not hitting that. He was way out front, and the ball was in the left-handed batter box. Like there was no chance.
No, what I'm getting at is that I think after he got hit in the knee, I think he's just swinging at stuff right now. Like I don't think he's actually like I don't think
He
he's
might just
taking
be there
good
as a
cuts.
decoy.
Yeah, like right now he's just kind of hacking away and like he's not really focused on where the ball is. That's a bit of a problem.
To answer your
let's see.
question, though, I think the Blue Jays offense, if they can play like they did against the Yankees, would offer a better challenge to the Dodgers offense versus offense power. But, and here we go again, if MLB gets their choice, they probably want the Raleigh versus Otani situation because you have a potential AL MVP. You know, he's in the conversation, whether it's him or Judge. And then you got the likely NL MVP. So that would probably be the one that they would prefer. Whether it's competitive, that's another question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Biggest way.
I didn't think the Dodgers looked that good early on in the playoffs. So like that's what surprised me most, that they swept the Brewers.
Well, I think though, like we got to remember, it takes two to tango. If the Brewers, what a lot of these teams do in the playoffs is they start trying to adjust their strategy from what worked for them. What you did to win games in the regular season, yes, it's a different environment. I know it's higher tension. I understand all this, but the concept has not changed. What you did, especially if you're a team that is built a certain way, you get to put the ball in play, you run, you play solid defense or whatever it is. Like I said, right now when the Jays are playing well, they are doing those things. They're not being overly aggressive because if you go out there trying to hit home runs, these pitchers, if they locate correctly, they're going to basically torch you. They're going to torment you. And as it is, game one of this series, the Jays completely screwed it up because it was basically a one-run game for the majority of the game. They lost by 2, but they generated no offense. Literally no offense.
Here's a question.
Okay.
Does it seem like, and I don't know statistically, it might be way up there. But it has felt like there has been a ton of opportunities with bases loaded, no outs, and teams not scoring.
Yeah.
Like way more than we normally see in baseball. And I don't know if that's just the playoff atmosphere or what's going on, but like it's wild how many times it's happened in these playoffs. So I don't know statistically where we stand at it, but it's felt like it's been a lot more than usual. Like I
Well,
know
in
for
the
a fact twice Robles was up. Speaking of Robles,
yeah.
bases loaded, and I'm sitting there like yelling at the TV of sorts, wondering why in the hell they weren't having him bunt, because he's a decent bunter and he has speed. You know, he's not going to hit a whole grand slam. You're not expecting that. So why not try the suicide squeeze to get a run in? And instead, he's up there swinging the damn bat. And I'm like, is that his choice? Is that the coach's choice? Like, what the? And it was twice. He got it with bases loaded and never attempted to bunt. I didn't understand that.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. I think what's funny is that we were talking about you Savage earlier. In that game, they had the inning-ending double play 3 times, 3 consecutive
Oh yeah,
innings.
in a row.
It happened 3 straight times.
In a row, yep. And they said that I think he had never induced, or he had only ever induced one double play because he's not a ground ball pitcher.
Yep.
I don't remember if it was 0 or 1, but like it was very low, the number of double plays he had induced. And then he did 3 innings in a row, ending on double plays.
Yep. Yep. So Ham here says, I hope Otani goes off more in the World Series. Everyone who just bought him will be talking about their smart flip. I want the opposite, Ham. So here's what I want, Brandon. If the Dodgers are destined to win the World Series and we cannot avoid this dark timeline, then I accept this. I ask the baseball gods for one thing. This is all I want. Eric, you ready? I'm asking them for one thing. If there is no way to avoid this Dodgers World Series, then here's what I want.
Okay.
I want Otani to go 0 for 12.
0 for 12.
I want them to win the series.
Yeah.
But then if they're going to do that, I want him to go 0 for 12 and literally be the passengeriest passenger that has ever passengered.
That's a lot of passengers.
And if he does, by the way, and Eric, if he does pitch, I want him to get lit up. And the only game they lose is Otani pitching.
Wow.
If the Dodgers have to win, I wouldn't mind seeing Freddie Freeman win the MVP.
Yeah, Ham's on board with you. Ham's on board with you.
Yeah. Like if there's anybody on that team like that I had to choose, Freddie, maybe Kiki. He's not. Yeah, he's kind of fun to watch, but Freeman win MVP and then shut it down, walk off into the sunset. I think that would be if they have to win.
No, it's fair. I whatever it is the case, I respect it. But as I say, Brandon, this is all I ask. If this is the way it has to be, all I ask is Dodgers in 5 and Otani being the most worthless passenger that has ever existed and being useless. And then I want to see the guys who are pumping it go like, but he won the World Series. Useless. Trash.
So Mike Ham's comment there, Mookie's cards. I don't think winning the World Series is going to give Mookie a bump. I mean, the dude won in Boston. He's won in LA already.
I think this would be his third. Yeah, I think it'd be a third.
I think he's one of the best players in today's game, but I think he's also one of the most overlooked and underrated.
Yep. So Mike here says, I think pitchers, so I know he's transcribing, so I'll read it. I think pitchers today just throw as hard as they can, which I agree with. They don't know how to locate, which is basically what we're talking about here. They don't know how to pitch, so if they face a lineup 3 times, they get lit up, which I agree. It's the pitching, the state of pitching actually, Brandon, is what actually offends me the most of what I've been watching this playoff. The state of pitching is actually embarrassing. I really despise what I'm seeing.
There's some guys that have some movement, some good pitches, and it's not just go up there and throw fastball. But yeah, most of them, it's not finesse. They're trying to overpower the batter, and it just doesn't always work.
Well, so to be clear, it's not that I have any issue with power pitchers. Like Nolan Ryan was a power pitcher, but he had a very nasty curveball
Hmm.
to offset it. So he'd throw this fastball, he'd fire away fastball, but then he'd suddenly throw this curveball, and the guy's like, I don't know what to do. And that is pitching. That is what pitching is. So if you have that weapon, if you can rear back and throw it 95, 98, whatever, go for it. But then if you can offset it with something
Yep.
else, yes. That's how you make the hitters absolutely lose their minds, because then they don't know. So do I try to wait for the curveball, or do I try to hit the fastball and see that he's already blowing by me and blowing by all these other people? How do I approach this guy? Force him to work.
Who
And
is
that is more interesting to me.
I can't remember what his name is, but what's the deal with the pitcher like that 98% of the pitches he throws is changeups? Like,
Changeups?
yeah, like that's all the guy throws pretty much is changeup, and occasionally he'll work in a fastball. He does it like opposite of a fastball pitcher, but the changeup's always to like get the batter off balance. So I just have never heard of a pitcher that's straight changeups and then occasionally will work in something else. I don't see how that's an advantage at all.
It's just a change of speed. And if you can locate it well, again, a changeup can move, actually moves a little bit. So like it's got a little bit of lift and drop, and there's some things you can do with it. To be honest, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's a bunch of ways that work. Like, I don't care how you do it. My thing is, but I'm sitting there watching these guys go to the bullpen, and I'm watching pitcher after pitcher, and you're going to the bullpen, right? And the guy that you just got rid of throws 97 miles an hour, and then
The
you bring in
next
another
guy
guy
does
who
the
throws
same.
97 miles an hour, and I'm like, Eric, what's the change here? What's the change of pace? Like, what's the difference? You grab one guy who throws a straight pitch 97, you grab another guy who throws a straight pitch 97, and then the other one throws 98. Like, that's supposed to fool the batters now suddenly?
It's the
Same pitch.
rotation. It's the
Sure.
rotation of the pitch.
Yes, sure. So Mike was here saying, did somebody say Robles? That's what he meant with this one. I appreciate that it's transcribed as Road Place, but he meant Robles.
Hey,
talking about Victor. That's
we
right.
can break them out too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's like, oh, we're talking about Victor. Let's all pump. Yeah, Freddie Freeman. Yep. Ohtani will win the World Series, retire from baseball, and try out for the NBA. Go for it, man. Mookie's car use a bump. Yep. Mike says, I'll take that, Carlos, but make it 0 for 16. Let's do it. It's fine by me. Laura says,
Here's
Gibson,
one
Carlton,
for the
and Ryan.
chat. Everybody always talks about my beard. Here's the beardless. Well, I had a beard, but not long. Gandalf.
Well, it's less, but
Yeah,
you're not
less. Yeah.
The beard is less.
The beard is less. Yep.
Yeah, you're not beardless, right?
Yeah. And Laura here says, Gibson, Carlton, Ryan, all pitchers. These are all pitchers we're talking about. Yes, agreed. Like I said, power pitchers are fine, but these guys also knew how to pitch. They knew how to mix it up with something else that created issues for the batter, so they know it's not just fastball till the end of time. They can throw something else to offset it. That's pitching.
I mean,
So-
Clemens was juiced, but I mean, he was very much like Nolan Ryan. He was a power pitcher and everything, but he had 21 strikeouts in the game or something, 21 strikeouts in the game. He knew how to pitch on top of just blowing it by you.
You mentioned Little League earlier. Eric, I don't know if you ever played. You said you played soccer or something, right?
I never played organized baseball ever.
Okay. Carlos, did you ever have a pitcher that you tried to emulate one of their pitchers, their pitches? Because I did.
I wasn't a pitcher. I like to hit mostly, but I pitched a little bit, but I really didn't try to emulate anybody.
I always tried to figure out Mike Musina's knuckle curve.
Okay.
I
Knuckle curve?
always
Okay.
tried to figure that out.
Uh-huh.
I
think it's valid. Why not? If you find a pitch you like, especially if it's a little bit different, you can mess about. My favorite thing is I spent most of my time playing for third base and first base. So for the most part, I would just go in and hit. Hitting is the part that was most interesting to me.
Oh yeah.
A few times though, I'd have to go into pitch, and my arm strength wasn't anywhere near as good as some of the other players, but I was accurate. So what I did is I did basically what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, I can't throw it hard to throw it by you. So I'm going to locate. I'm going to go top corner, bottom corner over to this. So basically, you'd be sitting there going, the pitch isn't coming in super quick, but it would fall into exactly where it would stay in the strike zone. I'd hover right around the strike zone, and I'd make a swing at it, and I pitch the contact. And then some of these guys, occasionally, you can still strike them out, because if they're looking for something, you throw them something else that they're not looking for, just move it out of the zone. That's all you have to do. Just stay a little out of the zone, and they'll swing through it. But that's without throwing hard. And then the other guy would try to throw hard, and you get lit up like a Christmas tree. It's not about throwing hard. It's about location. You throw it down the middle of the plate as hard as you want. A lot of these guys can get to it. It's even in Little League, they can crush it because they're using aluminum bats. I'm sorry, they're going to get to those pitches. The bats are very light.
A lot of them use composite these days, which is even better.
True. Bubbles says Carlos complaining about today's pitching is trending well with the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame voters. That's probably true. Eric bitching and moaning about back in my day, the pitchers actually pitched.
Well, I told you, I listened for about almost a half an hour to Louis Tiant just violently.
Wait. That's not what the GOAT said.
I was going to say, pronounce it like the GOAT,
what
buddy.
the GOAT said, Eric.
I just kept saying yes, sir. But for about a half hour,
Be back in a
sat
second.
there and just ripped modern day pitchers about their lack of pitching ability, the fact that they don't play complete games. They're on pitch counts. They're a bunch of wimps. They get a fingernail issue and then they can't play. A half an hour of this, this man with a thick Cuban accent using all sorts of cool words my mummy do not want me to use, just ripping 30 minutes straight, ripping on today's modern pitching. Like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And all I kept saying. And he would have kept going, but Bill Lee was being kind of a clown in the corner, and that kind of distracted him. And then he went on a Bill Lee rant. So I just kept. So then he went into a Bill Lee rant, having known the guy for like 50 years, and I just kept saying yes, sir, to that. So, but yeah, I mean, so these veteran pitchers do not respect today's game. They do not respect today's pitchers. They don't like the way the games are managed. They don't get it. They honestly don't get it. So, Phil, the owner of Sports World, is very good friends with Goose Gossage, and just about after every single game, Goose calls the shop, and him and Phil just go through, and a lot of times Phil likes being on speakerphone so he can keep his hands working on stuff, and you just hear Goose Gossage just ripping today's pitchers. So I mean, you cannot find a veteran pitcher that would say that today's pitchers are any good, or the game is any good.
Well, the game thing, the old players are always going to bitch and moan about that. The state of pitching, though, I agree. And Keith here is actually giving part of the reason why I state this. The change of speed used to be 20 miles an hour. So that's what I'm talking about. Like the fastball would be, and then the off-speed pitch was really off speed. The point was to disorient the batter. The batter is trying to figure it out, and then he's thinking one thing, and you throw this off-speed pitch that goes completely off the map, completely off the side of the plate. And suddenly you drop at 15, 20 miles an hour, and the guy doesn't know what the hell to do. He either swings too early or is way too late because the timing is all off. That's what you're doing. You're trying to mess with the batter's timing. You're throwing it all over the place. You're changing speeds. That's pitching. But these guys, like I said, you've got so many of these guys with strong arms, they throw hard. But speaking of, and there's a really good comment I want to get to in a second. But as Eric is talking about, listening to the wisdom of Mr. Taint. The thing is, when you're listening to him talking about it, part of the issue with the managers, the pitch count thing, is because the guys they've been asking them. They tell them, throw 100%, throw hard, over and over again. Well, here's the dark secret. The Cy Youngs and the Walter Johnsons back in ye old day, like, well, why were these guys able to pitch all these? Because they're not throwing 100%. They were throwing it to get guys out. They were throwing it over the plate, and they were trying to beat these. Because guess what? I don't care who you are. Nolan Ryan being maybe the only exception in history. If you're throwing 100%, real 100%, your arm runs out of gas faster. But if you hold back a little bit, you have the fastball for when you need it, and you pitch and you move the ball around and do all these things, you can throw 140 pitches and it's okay. Because you're not blowing your arm out over and over. If you try to throw 140 pitches at 100%, just as hard as you can, the breaking pitches with as much break as you can put on it, well, then that's why the arm keeps falling off. There's no magic to it. Why were the old guys able to? Because the old guys figured out how to throw slower sometimes, so they're not wearing their arm out, so they can keep pitching inning after inning after inning. That's it. Brandon, what are you going to do now that your favorite center fielder has announced his retirement? The Robles. Well, sorry, Michael Taylor.
Taylor, yeah. Well, I was at the game.
Yep.
We talked about that already on the show. There is another outfielder for the Nationals that I have been picking some stuff up of. I like the way he plays, like the way he hustles.
Future pump?
No, I'm trying not to.
I'm ready.
I'm trying, like, I don't know that I've even mentioned, I might have mentioned him in one episode. But his stuff, like, is already, it's already went up. He doesn't have any rookies out in products yet. He has a couple tops now things. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm being patient, but
with who?
Not saying.
He's ready for it. He's ready for it. I'll read Zach's story real quick here. Funny little league story. Kid told me at school he was going to hit me. Told my coach before the game. Kid threw towards my head first pitch, and my coach charged him out at a 12-year-old pitcher. This sounds like we would get Eric to do it. Eric, you fight that kid. You teach him what. That's unacceptable.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta charge the mound.
But is the moral to the story that Zach was a tattletale?
Well, he also said that said he was going to hit him. Told my coach before the game. Kid threw towards my head. Well, yeah, he did tell him. Yeah, sure. Tiad pitched my first MLB game I attended in person. Nice. I like that. Looking forward to Ken.
What team was he playing for? I'm curious.
Yeah, that would have been early in his career. I forget. I feel like he started with Cleveland. Maybe I'm wrong on this. For some reason, I'm envisioning the rookie card is what I'm envisioning because I feel like I've seen it.
I believe he played for Cleveland, played for Boston, played for New York. So yeah, he played in a couple of different places. So I'm just curious to who he was playing for when he saw him play.
1964. He started in Cleveland until 1970.
Yep.
Nice. My memory is good on that one. Here, read this one, Eric. This is a good documentary you may want to look into. Ken Burns. I saw that comment earlier, and I was like, Eric, we're getting this comment. We'll get there.
And that's why we have to shut down all the money being funneled to PBS for that reason right there.
It's like we went from Mr. Rogers to Masters of Taint.
Yeah, that
just didn't work out.
Yes, it's got to be stopped.
Yeah, Ken Burns would pronounce it Taint. Maybe he took notes from Geoff. Laura says exception being notes Yamamoto. I haven't seen enough of the Dodgers. I have to look into it. But I know, like I said, for the most part, I'm just going with basic physics. There is no athletic endeavor that you normally want to be sprint. If you're running a marathon, you're not sprinting a marathon. You have to find a pace. I use the marathon analogy because to me, the pitchers that used to go the distance all the time, they understood the rhythm of the game and they would find their pace. And the thing is, if you can do that, that's how you pitch deep into the game. It's not the pitch count. The only reason the pitch count thing became a thing is because guys were being asked to throw max. So in other words, as soon as you do that, well, guess what? It's like you're taking the health meter and dropping it. So you actually don't have as much stamina in the tank. You lose it quicker. Well, if you learned how to pitch fully and properly, I promise you would go deeper into these games because you'd be a better pitcher. And you probably wouldn't throw as many balls. So you probably wouldn't go as deep into counts. And in reality, your pitch count would actually be lower naturally just because you'd be pitching better. Pitch around the zone, pitch to contact, and let the guys hit ground balls on you. Again, the Greg Maddux thing all over again. A guy who knows how to pitch is able to suddenly, magically, that's how a guy wins 350 games. Shocking how that works. It's weird. It worked for years somehow. Even in the steroid era, the guy was able to pitch somehow. Bizarre. Milwaukee was hitting 100 miles an hour all outside. Yeah.
That's that Mizorowski kid.
Okay. Stu was saying Yankees. Okay. You should never throw for the head. It's always been chest to the knees. Yeah. Fair. I'm waiting for the PBS Sickle Trunk special. Valid.
It's not going to be on PBS. It's going to be on Cinemax.
So you're saying you're going to double up? There's going to be a double header, Tickle Trunk, and then Emmanuel from space. Oh my God, Eric will never leave his seat. Both my favorite shows are on. Carlos, you're right.
Bobbles just drew an 8-pitch walk.
There you go. Well, that is working the count. That is what I said a moment ago. Look at that. Brandon's pump guy did what I said. You're right. You should pace yourself. Don't hit the big tree your first minute on the bike. Hit several little trees as you go. See, that's advice for you, Eric. Pace yourself.
Sometimes
we need to. That almost should be in the rules.
It might be. Pace yourself. Hit little trees.
Rule 11. Hit the little trees, not the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. You go. Bob Woozle says. Yeah, Bob Woozle says, I have a theory that Eric mistakes trees for people. He wants to run over people. He is a violent man.
There's been a couple I wouldn't mind to do that too.
What we're going to find, Brandon, is we're going to find some lost footage of one of Eric's crashes and say that's a double play. That's properly done.
Yeah, Julio hit into a double play quickly.
Yeah, he did, which is what I'm asking for. This is all I've asked for. The sad part, Brandon, is they're still in this game. Like, they get out of this inning, they still have 9 more batters to try to do something with it. Like, we'll see, but they're in this. The embarrassing part is that it's like opportunities being squandered right now as we speak, but we'll see. So anyway, Bob Boozle said, I have a theory that Eric mistakes people for trees. Yes, we talked about the violence there. And yeah, we're going to find lost footage of one of Eric's crashes. He goes, "Fuck you, Larry." And that's right before he crashes.
Wait, breaking news. A guy that just hit a home run got intentionally walked.
I know,
in an elimination game.
Is that even allowed?
Holy, I don't know.
Scandalous. Someone tell Milwaukee. Tell Milwaukee.
I didn't know that we were allowed to do that in MLB anymore.
Especially, Brandon, with the bases empty and 2 outs.
Yeah.
Like, Eric, this seems wise. Whether it works out or not, it still seems like viable strategy. Yeah, strategery, one would say.
Ooh.
Dare I say strategery?
That's very daring.
I know. But this is what I'm bringing to the table, man. This is, Eric, how we get to 150 podcast episodes. In 5 years and 1 day of episodic, whatever this is. Think about it.
Oh, my God.
Emmanuel, Junk in the Trunk episode. Oh, my God, the crossover. The crossover. Emmanuel Space pilled before Junk in the Trunk era. See, Bob Boozle and Stuke are on the same page. I appreciate that Stuke started it and Bob Boozle continues it. Back-to-back comments. I love it. I confess, my greatest at bat as a teenager was a 23-pitch walk. Well, at least you had a 23-pitch walk. Make them work. Make them work, bro.
Foul those things off.
Yeah. Sammy Thunder's on the mound again. Yes. We did get that comp earlier. But yeah, this is pretty good. All right. So tell you what, it's been pretty good tonight. So I'm not going to drag it out all evening. I don't know. Do you guys want to go for a couple more minutes right now? I'm doing kind of a watch along while I'm talking with you guys. So like in reality, right now we're actually pretty good for our usual podcast schedule. So we're not too bad. It was wise to start it a little early. I think that kind of was good for, it was beneficial. So by the way, quick, well, obviously for us, it's going to be impactful, but probably we're still going to keep the episodes around the same length, but I think we'll adjust basically our scheduling and I'll figure out how I want to do it. But again, I'm going to ask now, since some of you are live, but on the replay as well, you're more than welcome to it. We're open to kind of topics and ideas and thoughts on things that you might want to hear about. Obviously, this time around, we're doing it live. So, I moved the format around a little bit, but the pickups are going to stay. The, silly card of the week, those are fun segments to do. We'll still talk about a couple. News, though, has been a little bit light. I love when we have those evergreen topics, though. I like talking about the Grail concept, the Grail ideas. But is there anything else like that you guys would like us to discuss? Because some of that stuff can make it into. If something else happens, Geoff says something scandalous or whatever, we can talk about it. But otherwise, like, Right now it's kind of chill until expo time. By the way, quick side note that does remind me, Eric, I would be remiss.
Yeah. Well,
We know,
yeah.
you know what it's time for. You know what I got to do.
I do know what it's time for. Yes, I do.
All right,
Time for the countdown.
look at it, Brandon. Soon, and remember,
2 weeks.
yeah,
2 weeks. I will be heading up Tuesday morning.
and remember, this Eric is 4 p.m. on that day. This is the actual opening of the doors for VIP night, not just a day. This is the opening of the doors on VIP night
On Thursday afternoon, right?
on Thursday afternoon. That is correct.
I'll be
At
coming
the
up.
time the VIP officially starts.
I'll be leaving here Wednesday around 4:30 in the morning.
I'll be heading up. I don't know what time we're going to leave, but we're going to be heading up Tuesday, staying a night at the falls, and then I will be driving the rest of the way on Wednesday. So,
Are we gonna get any episodes of Bobbles and vlog cards? You gotta.
we'll see.
have any-
I mean, I do have like the GoPro and all this other stuff, you know. And
I was
never
gonna say
record
it's not
anything
like you
anymore.
have to take hours and hours of footage, but you could take. Because the reason I say, Brandon, I'm just throwing this out at you. The reason I say it though is because this is your first time leaving the
Oh
country.
yeah,
So it might be worthwhile just for your purposes,
just for
to have a
capturing
little
it. Yeah,
bit.
definitely.
Yeah, just to be like, hey, this is the Niagara Falls thing. Oh, I bet
Well-
I bet I could throw Eric down there.
We're
things.
probably on Wednesday, probably going to venture into. Well, it'll have to see what timing's like, but we may go into the city, ride the train in or something, and see around the city. So
There's a nice walk on the American side. Because you come in, where the bridge to get into Canada is.
I don't know, but okay.
It's park on the American side and go for a walk, and head over to the horseshoe part on the American side. It's a nice little, like I said, nice little walk, good scenery. And then when you get into Canada, get out again, there's a big parking lot over there. Got to pay for it. All right. Big parking lot, plenty of parking. And then from the Canadian side, the view's even better. But
Yeah, well,
there's not much to like go for a walk in the walk.
I
is
have to
not-
look at the map and see where exactly the hotel is, but the room I got has the falls view out of the room and everything. So
That's solid. That's good. Yeah, the family used to visit. We visited Niagara Falls a little bit because obviously it's Niagara Falls, so it's fine to do. But if you're coming in and you've never seen it before, it's definitely, I think, worthwhile checking it out.
I've never seen it at all. She's been
Yeah.
up and seen the U.S. side, but she's never seen the Canadian side. So
Canadian side's
she's
better.
excited for that. And
Way
that's another reason. Our anniversary is in November as well. Her birthday's in November. Like, I get
Nice.
my family just like my birthday, simple. July. Carlos knows.
Mhm.
Great month. My family decides my wife's birthday, my daughter's birthday. My daughter's birthday is the day after we're returning, so her birthday. Then my anniversary is also crammed in November. Then we have Thanksgiving, and then my son's birthday is in December, and then you have Christmas. So like they all just, I might as well just hand them my wallet for the last 2 months of the year and say, have at it, because that's kind of how it goes.
There you go. Nice. I think it's fair. But yeah, I think I agree with what Eric's saying as well. You can check that out for sure. And then yeah, if you want to check out the city there, but yeah, reach out ahead of time and just if you want some suggestions and some stuff, because there's just so many options. If it gets overwhelming if you don't have a lot of time and you want to try to make good value out
Well, I
of
know
it.
she wants to do the tower, so I'm gonna see about doing that.
It's downtown Niagara on the Canadian side. Is really kind of fun if the weather's nice to walk around there and see all the different. It's like you're in a carnival, or it's crazy. Tim and I walked around. It was a beautiful night the first time we went up there, and we were out walking around, and we just ended up. It's like, wait a minute, there's like a go-kart park. There's like a Ripley's Believe It or Not museum. There's restaurants. There's a Ferris wheel. There's a wax museum. There's this. It's like, where the hell am I? So if the weather's nice, you have to walk around downtown Niagara. It's freaking crazy. It's like you're like, am I at Disney World? No, this is like a city.
Oh no, she wants to go there too. Actually, she wants to go to Universal. But yeah.
One thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Bring her to downtown Niagara, walk around that for an hour or two, and tell her it's Universal. They tell her
They
move.
probably don't have Harry Potter, and that's why she wants to go to Universal.
Just tell her Eric's a witch. Isn't that good enough for you?
Yeah.
I was born in the
Bring your broomstick.
Yeah, I was going to say. So Mike here was saying, any World Series live streams in the future? Well, I don't know. Right now, my baseball expert is pretty much 86 Red Sox down there. Brandon, I can talk. Here's the thing. Let me put it this way. I have no moral opposition. I will say though, let me be clear, and we'll do it one more time tonight. One more time. To be fair.
To be fair.
Not bad. Considering there's a bonus live stream, so that's a decent effort by you. What I was going to say was that it's going to be tough. If the Jays get there, it's a hell of a lot easier for me to say yes. If they don't, though, Brandon, I got to be honest. It's not even an issue with the Seattle thing. I'm not interested in the Dodgers, and obviously the Dodgers are going to be heavily favored. Maybe there would be a surprise, but we'll see. But the reality is, like, I'm sitting there like, do I want to watch those two teams? If that's what you give me, that's a tough one. If my team's in it, I can kind of like, all right, win, lose, or draw, I can get myself at least into doing a couple of games. But if it's not my team and I'm sitting there like, and you're giving me the neutral option is, I'm not interested in the Dodgers. They don't compel me. And much love to the Mariners, but I don't really give a crap about the Mariners. So I'm like, so then I'll root for the American League just naturally. But it's a tough one. It'd be a tough one. I'm not going to say no. I'll think about it, but it's a tough one. Bobbles says, I like my podcasts like my mystery packs. I like that you left it open in the air.
Okay.
Left it open-ended on that. I appreciate it. Paul C says, a little piece of me dies every time I have to pay for parking. There.
Oh, it's bullshit up there, man.
I was shocked with the Falls Hotel because it wasn't mentioned, and I actually made a mistake, and somehow when I reserved the room, I changed it. I had it set for 2 adults, but then somehow I did something and it switched to 1. And so I'm sitting there looking for the number to call to make sure I get it corrected. And down all the way at the bottom of the page, valet parking, $100. Self-parking, $80. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm not going to a game or anything. I'm going to a hotel.
Yep.
Wasn't expecting that, but it is what it is.
It's bullshit what it is.
So much complaining, Eric. Wait until we get to the parking up charges for you. You keep whining, you're getting up charges.
Well, like I said, Brandon, the parking is free at the expo, but the hotel's gonna cost you.
Well, I booked the hotel that is walking distance to the expo.
It is, yeah, but it's a little bit of a walk. It's definitely walkable, but it's a little bit of a walk. And if it's cold and windy, you're not gonna like it.
I'll be fine.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
You still have to pay for parking. You're bringing a car.
I know that.
Once you come and go, it's the duration.
What if she wants to go somewhere while I'm at the show?
She could drop you off, man. I'll drive you.
That's true.
I'll be a baby.
But then she's just taking it back to the hotel.
I end up Ubering Amanda around for a week. I could do the same thing for you.
Ooh, bougie taxi service. I like this.
Well, then, I mean.
Whoa. He goes, Eric gets a call 3 a.m. Hey, Eric, We found out there's a 24-hour McDonald's. We're getting some chicken nuggets. Let's go.
That won't be me.
Won't be
I'm
me.
telling you, the last couple months, changing the eating habits and going to the gym and stuff, we said one night, hey, let's cheat. Let's have a cheat night. And we got some just plain McDoubles, and it was like the most disgusting thing ever. It's weird how your body adjusts,
Yep.
and like something that you used to love becomes the nastiest thing you've ever ate. So,
Brandon, it's not about actually eating the food. It's about the making Eric taxi you at 3 in the morning. It's for the
we'll
love of
find
the
something
game.
else. We'll call it nuggets, but yeah, we'll figure
It's for the love of the game. That's all it is. Paul here says, Paul here. So Paul and Paul. So Paul here says, good for you, Bobbles. Willing to bunk with Eric. Then Paul says, Paul C says, a big piece of me would die if I paid $100 to park anywhere. Spicy nugs, bro. There you go, Bob Boozle. Impressive. So I won't say that the season's on the line, but the current situation that the team is in, there's a runner on second and third with one out. This could be a big moment
for both teams.
They still got a couple of chances, but this is a very good opportunity to potentially tie the game and maybe do more. So now we're gonna go back to what I said earlier. The greedy person tries to hit the home run to take the lead. The smart baseball play is get the hit, drive in the runs to tie the game. Because you're in the seventh. Move the line, keep the inning going. Because right now, Seattle is right now on its back foot. Seattle doesn't want that. Seattle wants you to swing away and try to hit a home run. Because that could turn out badly for you. The wise move is to move the line. That's the play.
Or at least with one out, if you're going to hit it, get the sacrifice.
Yeah, that's basically what you're looking for. You're looking for a run of some kind. You want run or runs. But if the guy doesn't throw you a strike, take the walk.
Is it Springer up?
It is Springer. So it's about right now it's about discipline. It's about holding the bat on your shoulder unless you've got it. Oh. Ooh. Mr. One Leg. Scandalous. Look at that. Wow, says Jeff. Thought you meant Seahawks versus Texans, which is funny. Watching Houston suck to laugh at Dakota. Do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. Laura says that worked well. Strategery. Eric, strategery. Isn't that strategery? Isn't that how it works?
I love strategery.
4-3-J's. It is indeed.
Oh, damn.
Brandon, do you have any idea? Like, so just
his knee's looking good now.
Yeah, it's working now, right? Yeah. Yeah. LOL, foreshadowing Carlos. I'm 30 seconds ahead of you. I understand this. Like, I get it. I got to work in the time zone I'm in, man. I got to work in the time zone I'm in. I said the words before it happened where I am. All right? I got to work with what I got. Yeah, obviously there's a delay, no doubt. So, Brandon, I got to be honest with you. Here's the funny thing. I have never gone to a Jays playoff game because I've never had the opportunity. Obviously, the last time was 2015, 2016. I did not have the money to even attempt that, so forget that. And obviously, in the current one, the situation it'd be a little tough. But I'll tell you this. I was at the World Baseball Classic game years ago because they had a game in Toronto. And it was like 45,000 people in the stadium. And it was Canada versus the U.S. And when the crowd lost their mind, the stadium shook. You could feel it. And the dome is a big place. I've been to many a game there. You can feel it shake when it's like that. I'm trying to imagine what it sounded like when he hit that, because right now I don't have the sound on, right? Obviously, I'm talking to you guys. I don't have the sound on. Brandon, I'm going to have to watch the replay, but the problem is no matter what I see or hear, it's not going to feel, because I know what that stadium sounds like when they go off. It's got to be loud in there right now. Because right now they probably have the dome closed for this. For this situation, they're going to have the dome closed because it's chilly tonight. So that means you're enclosed in the dome, and a bunch of those people just lost their damn minds. It's going to be loud, Eric. Loud. Possibly loud.
Dome.
Yep. And I can only imagine, Eric, again, not getting ahead of myself, but if it comes to pass, Vancouver might be warming up the riot gear as we speak.
Yeah. Vancouver's
Because as
always
you
a,
well know, they riot in solidarity of everything.
yeah, they're
I
always
have
looking.
the Juan Soto at bat from the wild card game recorded,
Yep.
and that was something. Yeah, when you said I'm trying to imagine, you can't imagine it. Like even outdoors, the entire stadium shook, and it's like when that moment happened. I'm not gonna lie, like it gave me goosebumps and everything to witness that, and I still will say the whole playoff run was amazing to witness that year. But witnessing that game, I've never experienced a sporting event like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Sure.
that I ever will.
Sure. No doubt. But yeah, that's the reason why, like, in my mind, like, I was thinking about that. And as I was thinking about that, that baseball classic game is the only one that I can think of that would probably match it because the people were freaking out. Like they were loud that for most of that game. And they sustained it for hours. It was actually crazy. So I can imagine them having one specific singular moment where they all go off like that. How loud that has to be inside that building. It's kind of
This was
interesting,
the
Eric.
Metro trying to get on the Metro after the game.
Right.
Like
Yep.
packed.
See humanity. See humanity, right? It's funny, Eric. We always talk about, like, we've had a lot of fun talking about on here and on the Friday Live. Live sports have gotten so expensive that it
Oh,
has priced out the average person as one of those. That's why earlier tonight I was having a lot of fun with the conversation talking about going to the hockey game with Brad. That was a good opportunity. It was an appropriate situation. It was fun and everything. And for me, it was just like, again, randomly, Brad reached out and said, "Hey, would you be interested in this?" And this was on the afternoon on Saturday, only a couple hours before that game. So, and I said, "Yeah, sure," because it's I had the time. I happened to be, yeah, sure, I can go. But it was definitely a good time. It was a lot of fun. But you don't get a chance necessarily now with stuff being so expensive. You don't always get to go out to those things. So if an opportunity presents itself like that, that's awesome. But when the game is high leverage and the crowd is into it and they lose their minds, there is still something about a live sporting event.
oh God. I mean, you've been to a hockey game and a fight breaks out, the freaking place, the roof comes off.
Yep.
And there's, you know, or an overtime game winner in a Stanley Cup playoff or something. I mean, the you think the building is going to collapse? Yeah, there's nothing better. But who the hell can afford it? The just rich people in corporations, buying boxes and seats and things so they can, charm potential clients. So, Joe Average, Joe the plumber, as they say, he's bringing his family of four to go see a professional sports thing. It's like, no, man, that's going to cost $1,000+ when $50 to park, tolls to get in and out of town. I'm thinking of, the Boston Garden right now, tolls to get in and out of town, the parking. You want to be a good dad, and you got your four tickets, but you want to get your kids a souvenir of the special, game for the Celtics or Bruins, and you got two kids and a wife, and you know, then they all want something to eat and drink. I mean, it's $1,000 freaking. And
Yep.
Joe average guy can't do it.
That's kind of the reason I was briefly mentioning that, is that it is unfortunate that it is so expensive, Brandon, that the most people cannot partake. That is why, like, as much as a Jays fan as I am, I cannot pull the money out of my wallet to make that. Look, I'll pay for overpriced, hats. FedEx overlords. Take note. Hashtag reg, hashtag reg, hashtag. By the way, Eric, I got a notification that my Vladimir Guerrero thing is coming. Hopefully my autograph. Hashtag reg, hashtag reg. Just saying, FedEx overlords.
Well, now you're
Stay
gonna have
with
to
me
go
on
to
this.
Springer.
Stay with me on this. That's all I'm saying. But the point is that even though that's the case, am I willing to pay for stuff? Sure. Like, sure. But like I can't pay $300, $400, $500 for a seat to go to a single baseball game
No.
and then go out there and do whatever. And look, I don't want to just sit in my seat for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I probably am going to want to go get a drink. Like, for God's sake, I'm sitting in that chair. I'm going to go want to get a drink, get a bite to eat. Heaven forbid. I got to take out a second mortgage. Like, it's scandalous.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I bought my Michael Taylor jersey at the wild card game.
Yeah. And it's just too expensive. It just is. It's one of those things, like, but bless the people that can. Now, again, for people that have corporate seats, listen. If I get a phone call and say, "Hey, Carlos, you want to come to the game?" and the seats are covered, I'm there. But if I have to pay it out of pocket, it's just not there for me. I can't do it. It's just not something I can do. Bubbles, I manifested Jay's win. Everyone provide me with gifts. Well, we need a couple more innings, Bob. We need a couple more innings, and we can talk on this. They pushed the starter one inning too far. It could be. Looks to be the World Series live stream. Well, at least it's one of these teams is going to the World Series, so that part is true. That part is true. Joe the Plumber, don't invite Eric to the game. Damn, Joe the Plumber's out on this. Dan's Vintage Baseball. Good evening, Dan. Good evening, fine hobby, erudite gentlemen, and also Eric. Facts. Zach says Thunder playoff tickets when KD was there were $100. Same tickets are now $500. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm referring to. It's that, look, the building's full. So obviously somebody's paying for it. Somebody's buying it. The building is full right now. Brandon, I don't think I can raise the like button enough to get it to make that work for me. It's not going to work.
I told you how we went, and unfortunately, even that's went up a lot now. But
it has, yeah. Babu's only affordable thing is bum fights. Eric, we're getting the good comments today. Babuzel, you're the man. Yeah, just craziness, right? My buddy told me when he bought a beer at the football game, usually when you pay that kind of price, someone's usually dancing on a pole. Valid comp.
A handful of years ago, it's more than a handful of years ago, for my birthday or something, my wife got me 3 tickets to the Bruins. It was Bruins Capitals. And we did decent seats, nothing. It wasn't complete nosebleed, but it was upper level, but at the bottom of upper level.
Sure.
And we had a great time, the three of us, me, my daughter, and my wife. We had an absolutely wonderful time. Paid just so much money on the tickets and in and out and parking and the food and that I came home and I said, honey, I had a wonderful, wonderful time. I am begging you, please do not ever buy me tickets again to go see the Bruins. Ever. It's not worth it. We can't afford to do this. So the last game I saw was, 7 years ago.
no wonder the team sucks. They're not getting your money to pay payroll.
No, it's probably been
scandalous.
No, it's probably been so. I think my daughter was probably in middle school. She's now a junior in college. So yeah, that was the last time we went. And I said, please don't ever do this again. I don't want us as a family spending this kind of money for me to enjoy a Bruins game. I can't enjoy it knowing that it just cost us this amount of money. That's not enjoyable.
Yep. I'm still listening to your story, Eric, but I'm also fist pumping as that Suarez is not being a man of peace, and I appreciate it.
Okay.
Zach, you're saying people were maxing out credit cards to go to Thunder finals. No kidding. I heard story. I believe it, man. For a lot of folks, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Yeah, and Brandon, that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, is that I understand it. I respect it. And let me just be clear on this. If in 2015, Brandon, in 2015 was the one that I honestly thought maybe, because that team was good and things coalesced. And you get the vibe. You understand this from that Nationals run. Sometimes you get a vibe if the players are coming together at the right sequence, the right timing, and they're doing the things and they're all kind of playing, whether it makes sense or not, sometimes you get like this feeling. And if
Yep.
you're getting that vibe and you go like, just one or two things need to go our way, and this could be really interesting. The 2015 team actually made plays at the trade deadline. They did all the things. They made it very clear they were going all in. They tried. They grabbed David Price when he still had gas left in the tank, and I think he was 9-1 down the stretch. So like they were able to get mileage out of David Price, and they actually put all the Jose Batista was at the peak of his powers. Like they were doing a lot of great things that were working. All those things were working. So the vibe was there. If they had gotten to the World Series that year, I think they could have given a very strong showing because they lost to Kansas City, who won the World Series that year. If you go back to 2015, they played Kansas City and they lost to Kansas City, who did win the World Series. That was their one time they were able to win in the modern era. 30 years after the previous win. And Eric, when they won the World Series in 1985, who did they beat in the ALCS? Toronto. So Eric, we never play Kansas City in anything meaningful, but
No.
2 times they have been the nemesis.
Oh, I hate the nemesis.
The only 2 times, and really, and decades apart. The only 2 times. By the way, Eric, 1985 was the only other time that Toronto was in a Game 7 in the ALCS. So this is what I say. Like it's not regular. It's not a regular occurrence. It's just it happens sometimes, and that's what it is. But regardless, what I'm saying is that when the opportunity presents itself and it falls in your lap, as a fan, you're like, holy crap, I really want to. If it had been in 2015, Brandon, if they had gotten to the World Series, I probably would have figured something out and ponied up for the tickets. In 2025, I don't have it in me. Unless I sell one of Eric's kidneys, which I'm willing to do.
I'm selling my kidneys, man.
You've got a couple.
You always try to sell them. Knock it off.
I'm just, Brandon, if I could get a great rate, I'm just saying.
The thing that sucked about the Nationals run is all of the home games they lost. So
Stu says, my former company had several section seats. Employees would sign up for a lottery to the game they wanted to attend to at no cost. MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, yeah, local teams. Hey, if look, like I said, I work for the banks. The only NBA game I ever attended was a Raptors game in the box. And that's because the bank had a relationship and they were able to, and they just so happened to have tickets to that game. And they're like, hey, do you want to? I was in the office late that day, and they're like, hey, do you want to go? You're a sports fan. And I go, yeah. But I had no idea, Eric, until we got there that it was in the box.
Nice.
And I was like, so what you're saying, so this was the conversation there. And I was like, so what you're saying is that we're in the box. They go, yeah. So what you're saying is the food is comped. Yes. The booze is comped. Yes. And we have a dessert cart? What is happening?
I've never been in a box like that. So I'm not going to name any names, but I actually do have a real friend. Okay.
What?
Who played for the Bruins for a handful of years. Okay. And he's kind of just done with hockey and he just wants to put that in his past, and that's it. And I'm like, dude, you and I could go to the Garden, get in, and go up to the players' alumni box. And he goes, yeah, but I don't want to. I go,
out of curiosity, Eric, did you tell him it was the Garden, or did you tell him it was the Garden? If you had said Garden, he might have bought it.
I said it was the Garden, and he goes, he goes like, I don't care. I have no interest in going. I go, but I do. Take me. And he doesn't want to. I'm still working on it. I'm hoping that someday he'll change his mind, and kind of say, all right, what the hell? We'll go in. And when he hung up his skates, he's like, I'm done. So that's probably the only way I'm going to get into those types of seats is if he takes me to the alumni box at the Bruins game. And he doesn't seem to be interested in doing that. The son of a bitch.
That is unfortunate. Scandalous. But I was going to say though, it's like listen, I appreciate your hustle on this. I think it's a valid point. But I think the key is, Eric, that's that to your point, I appreciate that you're trying this. And the reason though is that when I got there and they said that the food was comped and drinks were comped and everything, I was like, this is how the other half lives.
Yeah.
And I joke with my buddy. I'm not a basketball fan, to be clear, but obviously I enjoyed the game. It was fun, like
Yeah.
it was good.
Oh, I'd go
And
to a,
they had a dessert card, Eric. They had a dessert fucking card.
that's awesome.
Like, it's amazing. You could pick
Yeah.
whatever you want, and they would bring it to you.
That's what they have at the alumni suite, and it's like, dude, I want to go to the alumni. Not only do you get all that, you get awesome seats, you get, waited on hand and foot. You're hanging out with the alumni. Anybody could be. Bobby Orr could walk in because he's in town, and you never know who's going to be in the alumni suite. It could be empty that game, or it could be absolutely filled, and it's like, please take me. No. All right.
Scandalous. But yeah, so as soon as I said that, but what was funny is I joke with my buddy who's a big basketball fan. He's a big Raptors fan. And I explained to the story, and he was like, I'm dying of jealousy. And then later on, he would be like, oh, Carlos, you want to go to a Raptors game? It's like, I cannot go where the Commoners are. I've seen too much. I've been to the box, Eric. I can't go back. I can't go back down with the Commoners. It's over. It's done.
Well, I've never been anywhere but, so I
Brandon, you understand. Like, once you've experienced it, once you've been to the mountaintop, like you can't go back, man. It's over.
I've not been in the box, but and I'm a fan of the cheap seats,
Sure.
but finding good cheap seats.
Sure.
So
no such thing anymore. That's the whole point of the conversation. There is
there is such thing. I just went to a baseball game and it cost me like I think I spent under $100 total, and that's including the metro and food.
dude, that was a 12-year-old little league game.
No, it was the last game of the season of two teams that had no hope of making the playoffs.
I was gonna say once you get to a look, that's how I got that. So prior to the game that I went with Brad at Scotia, the only hockey game I had ever attended at the arena was the what's it called? It was the international one. It was World Cup of Hockey, the World Cup of Hockey thing that they did, and they had the NHL players on the NHL teams and everything, so it was good. But if you avoided Team Canada and Team USA, you could get tickets to some of these other games super cheap. So I saw Slovakia versus Team North America. And Team North America had a bunch of these young guys that didn't make it onto the other rosters, but they were still good young players that today are playing in the NHL very well. And Slovakia had Marian Hossa was playing for Slovakia. Hockey Hall of Famer Marian Hossa. So they've got a good team. Like they've got some. But do you have any idea how? So I was in the lower bowl at Scotia, the hockey arena where these seats are expensive. So where I was, do you know how much I paid for the tickets to get into the lower bowl for this game? Again, NHLers are playing on the ice.
$20.
It was literally like $22.
Yep.
It was dirt cheap. But it's because people weren't as interested in those particular tickets. They wanted to go to Team Canada, Team USA. Totally understand. Totally get it. But I'm like, no, I'm watching this. These players are good. This is a good game, and like $20, and the seats are fantastic. So I was like, awesome, sounds great. So sometimes the opportunities do present themselves, but it's right time, right place. Basically, you're buying secondary market, and somebody else took a bath because they probably paid good money for those seats.
I've told this story 100 times on this show. I got to see Cal Ripken play at Skydome for $3 Canadian.
They didn't even upcharge you. Shame.
I got to watch Cal Ripken at Camden free.
Ooh.
Well, I guess
Stuke says paid $177 for 1992 Super Bowl. Nice. $70 for 91 Grey Cup and 5 Upper Deck high number sets for the 91 Stanley Cup Finals. I like that you traded Upper Deck sets for the Stanley Cup Finals tickets. That's a nice one. 91 Stanley Cup. I assume that was that Minnesota and Pittsburgh? Stuke, I'm guessing like that's what it feels like. 91. I'm thinking that's right. The Killer for Thunder was 8:30 playoff starts and 2.5 hour drive. That's unfortunate. Everyone here should dress up as clowns, head to the stadium, and tell them we're the halftime entertainment. There you go. He doesn't want to go or go with you.
I wish I wish it was just me because I wish embraced his, his hockey past some more, but he just isn't interested.
Mm-hmm. Bubbles says, I prefer box over third row seats. You're safe in the kiss cam. That is true. That is true. Noted. Boston Bruin, Cal Ripken. Facts. How about being from the Zamboni and Checker Dome and Grand Fear Age? Yes. Minnesota and North Stars and Penguins? Yes. Nice. Nice, nice. Danny says, $11 Canadian, isn't that like 11 cents US? I'm willing. I am willing, because I'm a generous man. I am willing to give Eric 20 cents US for every $3 Canadian. I'm doing this in your favor. I'm helping you.
You're generous.
I really am.
You are.
Mm-hmm. I'm a giver. That's what I do. But yes, so that's good. All right. So right now it looks like the game's still winding down a little bit, but I think we can wind her down for tonight. I think we've had a pretty good live stream. It's been fun. So hopefully you folks enjoyed. It's been good chat. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate you. And it's been kind of an ALCS watch along / episode 150 / 5 year and 1 day celebration. This Friday we'll be back with the regular live stream, and the week after that, the Friday Night Spectacular. Yes!
On
It's legit.
the cusp of the expo.
And that's where it'll be. We're getting close now. You already saw the countdown timer's been updated. It's getting closer to the date, and we're approaching. We're rapidly approaching. Spooktacular, November, boom, expo the following week. The episode that you will get, the podcast episode will drop on Tuesday like normal that week because we're recording on the Monday. And then Bobbles and Ball Cards is going to be on the road. Eric is going to be on the road. Everyone's going to be on the road. They're going to be out there heading out. And then I will still have I'm going to have some videos on the channel, chronicling. I'll figure out timing, logistics, everything else, and then we'll figure it out. Usually I do a live stream from Expo. It's just about timing and everything else. We'll figure it out. But if we manage, regardless, there will be a live stream that week. I'll figure it out how I want to play it. I'll talk to you guys. Maybe what I do sometimes just to cheat to make sure that I cover it. Sometimes I do that one as a live stream earlier in the week. That way it's done, because if at Expo there's bad internet connection or something, then we're covered. So I don't know. It'll be one way or the other. I'll figure it out. Regardless, we'll figure it out from there.
Well, we've done even live from the show floor. We've done that once.
That worked out at Bobby's booth. That was good.
Yeah,
There was good timing on that one.
We had a live, a live shut up, Josh, right there.
He was live. It's true. Gentlemen, enjoy my leaving. Thank you. Appreciate it. Will Manual in Space be the first film elected to become Carlos Cinema Hall of Fame? Ooh. Well, we still have to talk about that because we did get some votes. For a movie review. I don't know if we want to go down that route, but we did get some votes for it. So I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it.
That 1970 something documentary of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
That is an option on the table, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Eric was originally pitching Debbie Does Dallas. I don't think it is the kind of movie he thinks it is. I like that Eric is holding his hand to his face. He just doesn't want to say anything or show any reaction. It's like a poker thing. He doesn't want to show a tell. He's like, nope, not showing anything.
Said it in code, and you just said, rip the tape right off.
We cannot, even as men of peace. The people, transparency, Eric. Haven't you learned that this hobby is about transparency?
I think they got the code without actually saying it aloud.
Are you sure they did?
I think they did.
The Dallas Cowboy thing might have been a little too vague. 3-hour live stream tonight. Hope that doesn't take away from the 7-hour spooktacular. Maybe. Eric is like, oh my God, 8 hours at least. No. Monday Night Live. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Good to see everyone. Thank you, Zach. Debbie tries to do Cars HQ, but runs out at the store laughing. Valid. But it's been good tonight. Thank you all in the chat for participating. I'm going to cross my fingers. Right now, I'm going to get off of this because even though I'm sure the reaction to, the next several minutes might be interesting, I'm going to look away from this one. But regardless, thank you all for participating. Brandon Bobbles and Ball Cards, known associated 540 Flips, Eric Sanderson or in the Cave of Crap. Done. Am I good? I vote for a Monday live stream any now and then. Any now and then might be interesting. We'll see. We'll play it by ear and we'll go from there. But 150 episodes of the podcast. So hold on. Congratulations. Good job. Wait. Let me do it. Hang on. I think I've still got it
You
here.
gotta have the horn.
No. I'm gonna do better, Brandon. I can do
Ooh.
better.
We don't have that kind of production value.
Ooh.
That's going to cost us.
Thank you. I will raise the like button fee accordingly. Hit the like button on the way out. Eric pays for it. Have yourselves a good one, everybody. Those in Canada, cross your fingers. We'll see what the next couple of minutes go in. Bob Boozle, I manifested this podcast success. Appreciate you, Bob. Have yourselves a good night. Take it easy. Catch you in the next one.